Hare Krishna. So we are starting today this morning with Brahma Samhita reading. Brahma Samhita is the is one of the chapter of Brahma Samhita, chapter 5, and Avantika will start reading.
Krishna, who is known as Govinda, is the supreme Godhead. He is an eternal, blissful spiritual body. He is the origin of all. He is no other origin, and he is the prime cause of all causes. The spiritual place of transcendental pastimes of Krishna is portrayed in the second verse. The super excellent station of Krishna, which is known as Gokula, has thousands of petals and a corolla like that of a lotus sprouted from a part of his infinitary aspect, the whorl of the leaves being the actual abode of Krishna. The whorl of that transcendental lotus is the realm wherein dwells Krishna. It is a hexagonal figure, the abode of the indwelling, predominated, and predominating aspect of the Absolute. Like a diamond, the central supporting figure of self-luminous Krishna stands as this transcendental source of all potencies. The holy name, consisting of 18 transcendental letters, is manifested in a hexagonal figure with sixfold divisions. The whorl of that eternal realm, Gokula, is the hexagonal abode of Krishna. Its petals are the abodes of gopis who are part and parcel of Krishna, to whom they are most lovingly devoted and are similar in essence. The petals shine beautifully like so many walls. The extended leaves of that lotus are the garden-like Dhama, spiritual abode of Sri Radhika, the most beloved of Krishna. The surrounding external plain of Gokula is described in this verse. There is a mysterious quadrangular place named Shweta-dvipa, surrounding the outskirts of Gokula. Shweta-dvip is divided into 4 parts on all sides. The abode of Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha are separately located in each of these 4 parts. These 4 divided abodes are enveloped by the 4-fold human requirements such as piety, wealth, passion, and liberation, as also by the 4 Vedas, Rig, Sama, Yajur, and Atharva, which deal with the mantra and which are the basis of achievements of the 4-fold mundane requirements. 10 tridents are fixed in the 10 directions, including the zenith and nidhi. The 8 directions are decorated with the 8 jewels of Mahapadma, Padma, Shankha, Makara, Kachapa, Mukunda, Kunda, and Mila. There are 10 protectors, Dikpalas, of the 10 directions in the form of mantra. The associates of the hues of blue, yellow, red, and white, and the extraordinary potencies bearing the names of Vimala, etc., shine on all sides. The Lord of Gokula is the transcendental supreme Godhead, the own self of eternal ecstasies. He is the superior of all superiors and is busily engaged in the enjoyment of the transcendental realm and has no association with his mundane potency. Krishna never consorts with his illusory energy. Still, her connection is not entirely cut off from the absolute truth. When he intends to create the material world, the amorous pastime in which he engages by consorting with his own spiritual chit potency, Rama, by casting his glance at the diluting energy in the shape of sending his time energy, is an auxiliary activity. The secondary process of association with Maya is described. Rama Devi, the spiritual chit potency, beloved consort of the Supreme Lord, is the regulatrix of all entities. The divine plenary portion of Krishna creates the mundane world. At creation there appears a divine halo of the nature of his own subjective portion, Svamsha. This halo is divine Shambhu, the masculine symbol or manifested emblem of the Supreme Lord. This halo is the dim twilight reflection of the supreme eternal effulgence. This masculine symbol is the subjective portion of divinity who functions as progenitor of the mundane world, subject to the supreme regulatrix, Niyati. The conceiving potency in regard to mundane creation makes her appearance out of the supreme regulatrix. She is Maya, the limited, non-absolute apara potency, the symbol of mundane feminine productivity. The intercourse of these two brings forth the faculty of perverted cognition, the reflection of the seed of the procreative desire of the Supreme Lord. All offspring of the consort of the great Lord, Maheshwar, of this mundane world are of the nature and of the embodiment of the mundane masculine and feminine generative organs. The person embodying the material causal principle the great lord of this mundane world, Maheshvara, Shambhu, in the form of the male generating organ, is joined to his female consort, the limited energy, Maya, as the efficient causal principle. The Lord of the world, Mahavishnu, is manifest in him by his subjective portion in the form of his glands. The Lord of the mundane world, Mahavishnu, possesses thousands of heads, eyes, and hands. He is the source of thousands of avatars and his thousands of subjective portions. He is the creator of thousands of... Can you go back? Yeah. He is the creator of thousands of individual souls. The same Mahavishnu is spoken of by the name of Narayana in this mundane world. From that eternal person has sprung the vast expanse of water of the spiritual causal ocean. The subjective portion of Sankarsana, who abides in Paravyoma, the above supreme Purusha, with thousands of subjective portions, reposes in the state of divine sleep, Yoga Nidra, in the waters of the spiritual causal ocean. The spiritual seeds of Sankarsana, existing in the pores of skin of Mahavishnu, are born as so many golden sperms. These sperms are covered with 5 great elements. The same Mahavishnu entered into each universe as his own separate subjective portions. The divine portions that entered into each universe are possessed of his majestic extension. They are the eternal universal soul Mahavishnu, possessing thousands of heads.
The same Mahavishnu created Vishnu from his left limb, Brahma, the first progenitor of beings, from his right limb, the divine masculine manifested halo. The function of Shambhu in relation to jivas is that this universe enshrining the mundane egotistic principle has originated from Shambhu. Thereupon, the same great personal Godhead, assuming the threefold forms of Vishnu, Prajapati, and Shambhu, entering into the mundane universe, plays the pastimes of preservation, creation, and destruction of this world. This pastime is contained in the mundane world, hence it being perverted, the Supreme Lord, identical with Mahavishnu, prefers to consort with the goddess Yoganidra, the constituent of his own spiritual chit potency, full of the ecstatic trance of eternal bliss appertaining to his own divine personality. When Vishnu, lying in the ocean of milk, wills to create this universe, a golden lotus springs from his navel pit. The golden lotus with its stem is the abode of Brahma, representing Brahmaloka or Satyaloka. Before their conglomeration, the primary elements in their nascent state remained originally separate entities. Non-application of the conglomerating process is the cause of their separate existence. Divine Mahavishnu, primal Godhead, through association with his own spiritual chit potency, moved Maya, and by the application of the conglomerating principle, created those different entities in their state of cooperation. And after that, he himself consorted with Yoganidra by way of his eternal dalliance with his spiritual chit potency. By conglomerating all those separate entities, he manifested the innumerable mundane universes and himself entered into the inmost recess of every extended conglomerate, Virat Vigraha. At that time, those jivas who had lain dormant during the cataclysm were awakened. The same jiva is eternal and is for eternity and without a beginning, joined to the Supreme Lord by the tie of an eternal kinship. He is transcendental spiritual potency. The divine lotus, which springs from the navel pit of Vishnu, is in every way related by the spiritual tie with all souls and is the origin of four-faced Brahma versed in the 4 Vedas. On coming out of the lotus, Brahma, being guided by the divine potency, turned his mind to the act of creation under the impulse of previous impressions, but he could see nothing but darkness in every direction. Then the goddess of learning, Saraswati, the divine consort of the Supreme Lord, said thus to Brahma, who saw nothing but gloom in all directions, "O Brahma, this mantra, Kling Krishnaya Govindaya Gopi Janavalabhaya Swaha, will assuredly fulfill your heart's desire. O Brahma, do thou practice spiritual association by means of this mantra, then all your desires will be fulfilled." Brahma, being desirous of satisfying Govinda, practiced the cultural acts for Krishna in Goloka, Lord of Shvetadvipa, for a long time. His meditation ran thus: There exists a divine lotus of 1,000 petals augmented by millions of filaments in the transcendental land of Goloka. On its whorl there exists a great divine throne on which is seated Sri Krishna, the form of eternal effulgence, of transcendental bliss, playing on his divine flute, resonant with the divine sound, with his lotus mouth. He is worshipped by his amorous milkmaids with their respective subjective portions and extensions, and also by his external energy, who stays outside, embodying all mundane qualities. Then Gayatri, mother of the Vedas, being made manifest, that is, imparted by the divine sound of the flute of Sri Krishna, entered into the lotus mouth of Brahma, born from himself through his 8 ear holes. The lotus-born Brahma, having received the Gayatri, sprung from the flute song of Sri Krishna, attained the status of the twice-born, having been initiated by the supreme primal preceptor, Godhead himself. Enlightened by the recollection of that Gayatri, embodying the 3 Vedas, Brahma became acquainted with the expanse of the ocean of truth. Then he worshipped Sri Krishna, the essence of all Vedas, with this hymn. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, the first progenitor who is tending the cows, yielding all desire in abodes built with spiritual gems, surrounded by millions of purpose trees, always served with great reverence and affection by hundreds of thousands of Lakshmis or Gopis. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is adept in playing on his flute, with blooming eyes like lotus petals, with head decked with peacock's feather, with the figure of beauty tinged with the hue of blue clouds, and his unique loveliness charming millions of cupids. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, round whose neck is swinging a garland of flowers, beautified with the moon locket, whose 2 hands are adorned with the flute and jeweled ornaments, who always revels in pastimes of love, whose graceful 3-fold bending form of Shamasundar is eternally manifest. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, whose transcendental form is full of bliss, truth, substantiality, and is thus full of the most dazzling splendor. Each of the limbs of that transcendental figure possesses in himself the full-fledged functions of all the organs, and eternally sees, maintains, and manifests the infinite universes, both spiritual and mundane. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is inaccessible to the Vedas, but obtainable by pure unalloyed devotion of the soul, who is without a second, who is not subject to decay, is without a beginning, whose form is endless, who is the beginning and the eternal Purusha, yet he is a person possessing the beauty of blooming youth. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, only the tip of the toe of whose lotus feet is approached by the yogis, who aspire after the transcendental and betake themselves to pranayama by drilling the respiration, or by the jnanis who try to find out the non-differentiated Brahman by the process of elimination of the mundane extending over thousands of millions of years. He is an undifferentiated entity, as there is no distinction between potency and the possessor thereof. In his work of creation of millions of worlds, his potency remains inseparable. All the universes exist in him, and he is present in his fullness in every one of the atoms that are scattered throughout the universe at one and the same time. Such is the primeval Lord whom I adore. I adore the same Govinda, the primeval Lord, in whose praise men who are imbued with devotion sing the mantra suktas told by the Vedas, by gaining their appropriate beauty, greatness, thrones, conveyances, and ornaments. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, residing in his own realm, Goloka, with Radha resembling his own spiritual figure, the embodiment of the ecstatic potency possessed of the 64 artistic activities in the company of her confidants, Sakis. Embodiments of the extensions of her bodily form, permeated and vitalized by his ever-blissful spiritual rasa. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is Shamasundar, Krishna himself, with inconceivable, innumerable attributes, whom the pure devotees see in their heart of hearts, with the eye of devotion tinged with the salve of love. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who manifested himself personally as Krishna and the different avatars in the world in the forms of Rama, Nrsimha, Vamana, etc., as his subjective portions. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, whose effulgence is the source of the non-differentiated Brahman, mentioned in the Upanishads, being differentiated from the infinity of glories of the mundane universe, appears as the indivisible, infinite, limitless truth. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is the absolute substantive principle, being the ultimate entity in the form of the support of all existence, whose external potency embodies the threefold mundane qualities, that is, sattva, rajas, and tamas, and diffuses the Vedic knowledge regarding the mundane world. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, whose glory ever triumphantly dominates the mundane world by the activity of his own pastimes, being reflected in the mind of the recollecting souls as the transcendental entity of ever blissful cognitive rasa. Lowest of all is located Devi Dham, mundane world, this area. Next above it is Mahesh Dham, abode of Mahesh. Above Mahesh Dham is placed Haridham, abode of Hari. And above them all is located Krishna's own realm named Goloka. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, who has allotted their respective authorities to the rulers of those graded realms. The external potency, Maya, who is of the nature of the shadow of the Chit potency, is worshipped by all people as Durga, the creating, preserving, and destroying agency of this mundane world. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, in accordance with whose will Durga conducts herself. Just as milk is transformed into curd by the action of acids, but yet the effect curd is neither same as nor different from its cause, namely milk, so I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, of whom the state of Shambhu is a transformation for the performance of the work of destruction. The light of one candle being communicated to other candles, although it burns separately in them, is the same in its quality. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, who exhibits himself equally in the same mobile manner in his various manifestations. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, who, assuming his own great subjective form, who bears the name of Shesha, replete with the all-accommodating potency, and reposing in the causal ocean with the infinity of the world in the pores of his hair, enjoys creative sleep, yoga nidra. Brahma and other lords of the mundane worlds appearing from the pores of hair of Mahavishnu remain alive as long as the duration of one exhalation of the latter, Mahavishnu. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, of whose subjective personality Mahavishnu is the portion of portion. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, from whom the separated subjective portion Brahma receives his power for the regulation of the mundane world, just as the sun manifests some portion of his own light in all the effulgent gems that bear the names of Suryakanta, etc. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, whose lotus feet are always held by Ganesh upon the pair of tumuli protruding from his elephant head, in order to obtain power for his function of destroying all the obstacles on the path of progress of the three worlds. The three worlds are composed of the 9 elements, namely fire, earth, ether, water, air, direction, time, soul, and mind. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, from whom they originate, in whom they exist, and into whom they enter at the time of the universal cataclysm. The sun, who is the king of all the planets, full of infinite effulgence, the image of the good soul, is as the eye of this world. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, in pursuance of whose order the sun performs his journey, mounting the wheel of time. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, by whose conferred power are maintained the manifested potencies that are found to exist of all virtues, all vices, the Vedas, the penances, and all jivas, from Brahma down to the meanest insect. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, who burns up to their roots all fruitive activities of those who are imbued with devotion, and impartially ordains for each the due enjoyment of the fruits of one's activities, of all those who walk in the path of work, in accordance with the chain of their previously performed works, no less in the case of the tiny insect that bears the name of Indragopa than in that of Indra, king of the Devas. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, the meditators of whom, by meditating upon him under the sway of wrath, amorous passion, natural friendly love, fear, parental affection, delusion, reverence, and willing service, attain to bodily forms befitting the nature of their contemplation. I worship that transcendental seat known as Shweta-dweep, where as loving consorts, the Lakshmis in their unalloyed spiritual essence practice the amorous service of the Supreme Lord Krishna as their only lover. where every tree is a transcendental purpose tree, where the soil is the purpose gem, all water is nectar, every word is a song, every gait is a dance, the flute is the favorite attendant, effulgence is full of transcendental bliss, and the supreme spiritual entities are all enjoyable and tasty, where numberless milk cows always emit transcendental oceans of milk. Where there is eternal existence of transcendental time, who is ever present and without past or future, and hence is not subject to the quality of passing away even for the space of half a moment. That realm is known as Goloka, only to a very few self-realized souls in this world. On hearing these hymns containing the essence of the truth, the Supreme Lord Krishna said to Brahma, Brahma, if you experience the inclination to create offspring by being endowed with the real knowledge of the glory of Godhead, listen, my beloved, to me, from me, to this science set forth in the following 5 shlokas. When the pure spiritual experience is excited by means of cognition and service, bhakti, super excellent unalloyed devotion characterized by love for Godhead is awakened toward Krishna, the beloved of all souls. The highest devotion is attained by slow degrees, by the method of constant endeavor for self-realization with the help of scriptural evidence, theistic conduct, and perseverance in practice. These preliminary practices of devotion, sadhana bhakti, are conducive to the realization of loving devotion. Loving devotion, than whom there is no superior well-being, who goes hand in hand with the attainment of the exclusive state of supreme bliss, and who can lead to myself. Abandoning all meritorious performances, serve me with faith. The realization will correspond to the nature of one's faith. The people of the world act ceaselessly in pursuance to some ideal. By meditating on me by means of those deeds, one will obtain devotion characterized by love in the shape of the supreme service. Listen, O Viti, I am the seed, that is, the fundamental principle of this world of animate and inanimate objects. I am Pradhana, the substance of matter. I am Prakriti, material cause. And I am Purusha, efficient cause. This fiery energy that belongs especially to the Brahman, that inheres in you, has also been conferred by me. It is by bearing this fiery energy that you regulate this phenomenal world of animate and inanimate objects. Did you already do the Sanskrit? Would you all like to do it? Ishvara Parama Krishna Sakchit Ananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam Sahasrapatra Kamalam Gokulakyam Mahatpadam Tatkarnikaram Tadama Tadanantam Shasambhavam Karnikaram Mahadyantram Shatkonam Bhadrakilakam Shadanga Shatpadistanam Prakritya Purushena Cha Premananda Mahananda Rasena Vastitam Hiyat Jyoti Rupena Manuna Kama Bijena Samgatam Tatkinjalkam Tadangshanam Tatpatrani Shriyamapi Chaturashram Tatparitaha Shweta Dikpakyam Adbhutam Chatur Asram, Chatur Murtesh, Chatur Dhamma, Chatuskritam, Chatubi Purushartaischa, Chaturbir Hetu Virbitam, Shular Dashabir Anandam, Urdvado Didurvikshapi, Ashtabir Nidabir Jushtam, Ashtabi Siddhibistata, Manurupaischa Dashabir Dikpalai Paritovratam, Shamar Goraischa Raktaischa Shuklaischa Parshadharshabhai Shobitam Shaktabistabir Adbhutad Bisamantata Evam Jyotir Mayo Deva Sadananda Paratpara Atma Ramasya Tasyasti Prakritya Nasamagama Mayaya Ramamanasya Naviyogastayasaha Atmana Ramaya Reme Tyakvakalam Shashikshaya Niyati Sarama Devi Tatpriya Tadvasham Tada Talingam Bhagavan Shambur Jyoti Rupa Sanatanaha Ya yoni sa parashakti kamo bijam mahaddare linga yonyatmika jata ima maheshwari praja Shaktiman Purushasoyam Lingarupi Maheshwara Tasmin Avirabu Linge Mahavishnur Jagatpati Sahasra Shirsha Purushaha Sahasraksha Sahasrapat Sahasrabahur Vishvatma Sahasramsha Sahasrasu Narayana Sabhagavan Apastasmat Sanatanad Avirasit Kararnarno Nidhi Sankarshanatmaka Yoga Nidram Katastasmin Sahasramsha Swayam Mahan Tadro Mabila Jaleshu Bijam Sankarshanasya Cha Hemanyandari Jatani Mahabhuta Vratani Tu Pratyantam Evame Kamshad Ekamshad Vishati Swayam Sahasramurha Vishvatma Mahavishnur Sanatanaha Vamangada Srijad Vishnum Dakshinangat Prajapatim Jyotilingam Mayam Shambhum Kurchadeshad Avasrajat Ahankaratmakam Vishvam Tasmat Etad Vyajayata Atas Taistri Vider Vesher Lilam Udvahatakila Yoga Nidra Bhagavati Tasya Shir Iva Sangata Sashikshayam Tato Nabes Tasya Padmam Vanirya Yao Tanalam Himana Linam Brahmano Lokam Adbhutam Tatvani Purva Rudhani Karanani Parasparam Samavaya Prayogascha Vibannani Pratak Pratak Chit Chaksha Shadshamanota Bhagavan Adi Purushaha Yo Jayan Mayaya Devo Yoga Nidram Akalpayat Yo Jayitva Tutanyeva Pravivesha Swayam Guham Guham Pravishte Tasmimstu Jivatma Pratipudyate Sanityo Nitya Sambandha Prakritischa Paraivasa Evam Sarvatma Sambandham Nabhyan Padmam Harera Bhut Tatra Brahmad Bhavad Bhuyash Chaturvedi Chaturmukha Sanjato Bhagavach Chaktya Tatkalam Kilachoditaha Sashikshayam Matim Chakre Purva Samskara Samskritaha Dadarsha Kevalam Dvantam Nanyat Kim Api Sarvata Uvacha Buddhatastasmai Tasya Divya Saraswati Kama Krishnaya Govinda Hey Gopi Jana Ityapi Malabaya Priya Vanir Mantram Te Dasyati Priyam Tapastram Tapaetena Tavasidhir Bhavishyati Atate Pe Sasuchiram Prinan Govindam Avyayam Shweta Dvipa Patim Krishnam Golokastam Parat Param Prakritya Gunarupinya Rupinya Paryupasitam Sahasradala Sampanne Koti Kinjalka Brimhite Bhumishchinta Manistatra Karnikare Mahasane Samasinam Chidanandam Jyotirupam Sanatanam Shabda Brahma Mayam Venum Badayantam Mukambuje Vilasini Gana Vritam Swarsvar Amshar Abhishtutam Ata Venu Nanadasya Trayi Murti Mayigati Spuranti Pravivesha Shu Mukabjani Swayambhuvaha Gayatrim Gayatastasmad Adigatya Sarojaja Samskritas-chari gununa dvijatam agamatata Tvaya prabhudota vidhir vignata tattvasagara Tushtava vedasarena stotrena nena keshavam Chintamani prakada sadmasukalpa vriksha Laksha vriteshu sudabirapi palayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Sambrahma Sevyamanam Govindamari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Venum Kvanantamaravinam Dalaya Taksham Barhavatan Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandarpakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindamari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Alola Chandra Kalasadvana Malya Vamshi Ratnangadam Pranaya Keli Kalavilasham Samam Tribangalalitam Niyata Prakasham Govindamari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Angani Yassa Sakalendriya Vritti Manti Pashyanti Panti Kalayanti Chiram Jaganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadujvala Vigrahasya Govindamari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Advaitam Achutam Anadim Ananta Rupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayauvanam Cha Vedeshu Durlabam Adurlabam Atma Bhakta Govindamari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Pantastu Koti Shatavatsara Sambragamyo Vayoratapi Manaso Munipungavanam Sopyastiya Prabhadasimja Vichincha Tatve Govindamari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Ekopya Saura Charitum Jagadanda Koting Yat Shakti Rasti Jagadanda Chayaya Danta Andanta Rasta Paramanu Chayanta Rastam Govindamari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Yad Bhava Bhavita Diyo Manujasta Taiva Samprapya Rupa Mahima Shanayana Bhusha Suktaryameva Nagama Pratitaistudvanti Govindamari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavitabis Tabirya Eva Nijarupa Taya Kalabhi Goloke Eva Nivasatya Kilatma Bhuto Govindamari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Premanjana Chudita Bhakti Vilochanena Santak Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti Yam Shama Sundaram Achincha Gunaswarupam Govindamari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Ramari Muti Shukalani Amena Tishtan Nanavatara Makarod Bhuvaneshu Kintu Krishna Swayam Samababat Parama Pumanyo Govindamari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Yasya Prabha Prabhabato Jagadanda Koti Koti Shrishesha Vasudari Vibhuti Bindam Tad Brahma Nishkalam Anantam Ashesha Bhutam Govindamari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Magahi Yasya Jagadanda Shatani Sute Traigunya Tad Vishaya Veda Vitaya Mana Sattva Valambi Parasattvam Vishuddha Sattvam Govindamari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Ananda Chinmaya Rasatmataya Manasu Ya Praninam Pratipalam Smarutam Upetya Leelayatena Bhuvanani Jayatya Jasram Govindamari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Golokanamni Nijadamni Chaleta Tasya Devi Mahesha Haridam Suteshu Teshu Te Te Prabhavanichaya Vihitascha Yena Govindamari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Shristi Stiti Pralaya Sarana Shakti Reka Chayeva Yasya Bhuvanani Vibharti Durga Ichchanurupamapi yasya chacheshtate sa Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Shiram Yatada Vikada Vishesha Yogad Sanjayate Nihitata Pratagasti Heto Yashambhutam Apitata Samupaiti Karyad Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Departure eva hida shantanumabhyapetya Dipayate vrivta hetu samana dharma Yastadrigeva hicha vishnu chaya vibhati Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Yakarnarnavajale bhajati sma yoga Nidramananta jagadanda saromakupa Adhara Shaktim Avalamya Puram Smamurtim Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yashaika Nishvasitakala Matavalambya Jivanti Loma Vilaja Jagatandanata Vishnur Mahansa Ihayasya Kala Vishesho Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Basmanya Tashma Shakalesh Nujesh Teja Siyam Kiyat Prakatayatta Vidadbadatra Brahma Yesha Jagadanda Vidhana Karta Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yat Pada Pallava Yugam Vinidaya Kumbha Dvandve Pranama Samaye Sakanadi Raja Vignan Vihantum Alamasya Jagatrayasya Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Agnir Mahi Ganganam Ammu Murudishascha Kalastatatma Manasiti Jagatrayani Yasmad Bhavanti Vivavanti Vishanti Yamcha Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yachakshuresha Safita Sakalagrahanam Raja Samasta Suramurti Rashesha Teja Yasyagnaya Brahmati Sambratakala Chakro Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Tarmota Papa Nijaya Shrutayasta Pamsi Brahmadi Kita Patagava Dayashcha Jiva Yadata Matra Vibhaba Prakata Prabhava Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yastvindra Gopamatavindra Mahosa Karma Bandhan Rupa Palabhajana Matanoti Karmani Nirdahati Kintu Chapakti Bhajam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yam Krodha Kama Sahaja Pranayadi Piti Vatsalya Moha Guru Gaurava Sevya Bhavai Sanchintya Tassa Sadrishim Tanuma Purete Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Sriya Kanta Kanta Parama Purusha Kalpataravo Druma Bhumishchintamani Ganamayito Yamamratam Kataganam Natyam Gamanam Api Vamshi Priyasaki Chidanandam Jyoti Paramapi Tadaswadyam Apicha Sayatra Shiradbhi Sravati Suribhibhyash Sumahan Nimeshardakyo Vavrajati Nahi Atrapi Samayaha Bhaje Shweta Dvipam Tamaham Iha Golokamitiyam Vidantaste Shantakshiti Viralachara Katipaye Ato Vacha Mahavishnur Bhagavantam Prajapatim Brahman Mahatva Vignane Chachinmati Pancha Shloki Mimam Vidyam Vatsatatvam Nibodame Prabhude Jnana Bhakti Vyam Mayananda Chinmayi Udetunantama Bhaktir Bhagavat Prema Lakshana Pramainais Tat Sadacharais Tadabhyaser Nirantaram Bodhayanat Manatmanam Bhaktimapyutamam Labe Yasya Shreyaskaram Nasti Yaya Nivritim Apnuyad Yasadiyati Mameva Bhaktim Tameva Sadayed Dharman Anyan Parityaja Mamekam Bhaja Vishwasan Yadrishi Yadrishi Shraddha Siddhir Bhavati Tadrishi Kurvan Nirantaram Karma Loko Yam Manuvartate Tenaiva Karmana Dhyayan Mam Param Bhaktimichyati Aham Hi Vishvasya Characharasya Bijam Pradhanam Prakriti Pumamscha Maya Hitam Teja Idam Bibarshi Vide Videhi Tomato Jaganti Ishvara Parama Krishna Sakchirananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam Iti Shri Brahma Sanghita Sampurnam Hari Om Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Ra Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Balaba Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Girivaradari Jana Balaba Girivadari Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Vraja Janaranjana Jaya Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Jaya Vraja Janaranjana Jaya Vraja Janaranjana Jaya Jamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Jamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. Jayom Vishnupad Paramhamsa Privrajakacharya Stotra Satashi Shimada Pai Charanada Vindabhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayom Vishnupad Paramhamsa Privrajakacharya Stotra Satashi Shimad Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavini Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Sakaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gokopinath Shamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Mayapur Navadip Dham Ki Jai. Shri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Jamuna Devi Ganga Devi Ki Jai. Samaveta Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Second canto. Brahma's prayers for creative energy. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Nanam Jaiva Narottamam Devim Sarasatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye. What? Brahma's prayers for creative energy? Ask Navina, he's a Bhaktivedanta. Which chapter is Brahma's prayers for creative energy? Which one is it? It's not there? Cause of all causes, Purush Shukta confirmed. Give me that one then. 6 only. So, I was just thinking this morning, just now only, that there's a way in which we're super conscious of something that's invisible around us. I saw Nirkula wiping down her chair with an antiseptic lotion before sitting in it. Am I correct about that?
Maybe I should have.
Well, what were you wiping down? Something. Your phone. Okay, whatever it was. We're wiping down all kinds of surfaces. We can't see what's there exactly, but we know there's something and some implication, and it's being... Something could be spread here and there and everywhere, right? You don't see it with your naked eye, correct?
Yes.
Please say yes.
Yes.
We need a little help here in the audience today. There's only a few of us. And I'd like to have a Bhagavad Gita too, if you wouldn't mind. And so I was thinking in the same way, karma is like that too. I don't see it, but when I become super conscious of it, like I wasn't conscious of these superbugs a few weeks ago. I mean, I heard about it, but I wasn't overly cautious, but when somebody becomes aware of karma, how sticky it is, it's on all these surfaces, whatever we do, say, move here and there, touch this, associate with that person, it's like you should be in the antiseptic process, prophylactic, making sure that you don't come in contact with somebody who's got some sticky thoughts that are drag one down into the material world, and being careful, everything that we do, that we think, the way we move in the world. So one of the ways that Krishna is helping us out right now is making the whole world aware of the subtle implications of moving around in the material world. And it's in a way that, we can kind of appreciate a little sticky bug that grabs on and goes for a little ride, tries to suck the life out of you. So that's the nature of the material energy all the time. And when I'm aware of it, I'm careful, and I move about the world taking care to make sure that I'm acting in a no touching face, prophylactic and antiseptic ways. So what do we have here? You got Brahma's prayers for creative energy. Third canto. Sorry for misleading you. Okay. Here we are, chapter 9 of the third canto, Brahma's prayers for creative energy. And since we just heard from Brahma, and he was praying to the Lord for creative energy at the end of the Brahma Samhita, now we're taking up in the Bhagavatam to see the continuation of that, the ways in which he's desiring to do his service and he's asking for help. Give me one of those, please. They don't make them like they used to. Thank you. Sorry for that. Can I use this in my hands? No? Does it get rid of cooties? Okay. So, at the end of the Brahma Samhita, Brahma's praying for the power to create the universe, and now he takes it up, chapter 9. Brahma Uvacha, Nato Simedya Suchiran Nanudeha Bhajam. Najñāyate Bhagavato Gatir Ityavadyam. Nanyat Tvat Asti Bhagavan Apitan Nashudham. Maya Guna Vyatikarad Yad Arur Vibhasi. Couple chanters. Gyato Simedya Suchiran Nanudeha Bhajam. Na Gyayate Bhagavato Gatir Ityavadyam. Nanyat Twadasti Bhagavan Apitanna Shudham. Maya Guna Vyatikarad Yadaru Vibhasi. Do the Brahmovacha. Brahmovacha. Gyato Simedya Suchiran Nanudeha Bhajam. Na Gyayate Bhagavato Gatir Advyadyan. Nanyat Tvad Asti Bhagavan Apitan Shudham. Maya Guna Vyatikarad Yaduru Vibhasi. Brahmuvacha. Lord Brahma said, Gyatva, Gyata, known, Asi, you are, Me, by me, Adya, today, Shuchirat, after a long time, Nanu, but, Dehabhajam, of one who has a material body, Na, not, Gyayate, is known, Bhagavata, of the personality of Godhead, Gati, course, Iti, so it is, Avadyam, great offense, Na anyat, none beyond, Twat, you, Asti, there is, Bhagavan, O my Lord, api, even though there is, tat, anything that may be, na, never, shuddham, absolute, maya, material energy, guna vyatikarat, because of the mixture of the modes of, yat, to which, uru, transcendental, vibhasi, you are. Lord Brahma said, O my Lord, today, after many, many years of penance, I've come to know about you. Oh, how unfortunate the embodied living entities are that they are unable to know your personality. My Lord, you are the only knowable object, because there is nothing supreme beyond you. If there is anything supposedly superior to you, it is not the absolute. You exist as the supreme by exhibiting the creative energy of matter. Let's say together, Lord Brahma said, O my Lord, today, after many, many years of penance, I have come to know about you. Oh, how unfortunate the embodied living entities are that they are unable to know your personality. My Lord, you are the only knowable object because there is nothing supreme beyond you. If there is anything supposedly superior to you, it is not the absolute. You exist as the supreme by exhibiting the creative energy of matter. Purport. The three deities, Purport. The highest peak of ignorance of the living entities who are conditioned by material bodies is that they are unaware of the supreme cause of the cosmic manifestation. I'll just read it again. The highest peak, I love the metaphor, the highest peak of ignorance. You can imagine a mountain, biggest mountain in the world, and the highest peak there, the highest peak of ignorance. It doesn't get any more ignorant than that. The highest peak of the ignorance of the living entities who are conditioned by the material bodies, is that they are unaware of the supreme cause of the cosmic manifestation. So it's ludicrous, in fact, that there's perfect order in the universe, and then there are all kinds of theories to deny the very idea of a cognizant creator, someone who has his own power, who's a personality. It's abhorrent to most people, this idea that there's a supreme creator, and therefore they just simply deny it and they remain in ignorance. And that's the highest peak of ignorance. Different people have different theories regarding the supreme cause, but none of them are genuine. The only supreme cause is Vishnu, and the intervening impediment is the illusory energy of the Lord. The Lord has employed his wonderful material energy in manifesting many, many wonderful distractions in the material world. And the conditioned souls, illusioned by the same energy, are thus unable to know the supreme cause. The most stalwart scientists and philosophers, therefore, cannot be accepted as wonderful. They only appear wonderful because they are instruments in the hands of the illusory energy of the Lord. Under illusion, the general mass of people deny the existence of the Supreme Lord and accept the foolish products of illusory energy as supreme. One can know the supreme cause, the personality of Godhead, by the causeless mercy of the Lord, which is bestowed upon the Lord's pure devotees like Brahma and those in his disciplic succession. By acts of penance only was Lord Brahma able to see the Garbhodakshayi Vishnu, and by realization only could he understand the Lord as he is. Brahma was extremely satisfied upon observing the magnificent beauty and opulence of the Lord, and he admitted that nothing can be comparable to him. Only by penance can one appreciate the beauty and opulence of the Lord. And when one is acquainted with the beauty and opulence, he is no longer attracted by any other. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 2:59, Param Drishva Nivartate. Foolish human beings who do not endeavor to investigate the supreme beauty and opulence of the Lord are here condemned by Brahma. It is imperative that every human being try for such knowledge, and if anyone does not do so, his life is spoiled. Anything that is beautiful and opulent in the material sense is enjoyed by those living entities who are like crows. Crows always engage in picking at rejected garbage, whereas the white ducks do not mix with the crows. Rather, they take pleasure in transparent lakes with lotus flowers surrounded by beautiful orchards. Both crows and ducks are undoubtedly birds by birth, but they are not of the same feather. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Translation, Lord Brahma said, O my Lord, today after many, many years of penance, I have come to know about you. Oh, how unfortunate the embodied living entities are that they are unable to know your personality. My Lord, you are the only knowable object because there is nothing supreme beyond you. If there's anything supposedly superior to you, it is not absolute. You exist as the supreme by exhibiting the creative energy of matter. And in the first paragraph of the purport, just as a reminder, Prabhupada mentions that the peak of ignorance is to remain unaware of the supreme cause of the cosmic manifestation. And that people make up theories, but none of them are genuine. They're just invented. That Vishnu is the supreme cause, and his wonderful material energy is manifesting many wonderful distractions in the material world. So now we'll take a few reflections with the idea of bringing out reflections of points that can be elaborated upon, that you heard so far in the first paragraph of the purport, or elsewhere. Yes?
I think in somewhere in between the purport, Prabhupada says like by penance only we can know like how Lord Brahma has to go for such a long penance to understand. Yes. So there is a one very word I remember. There is a de bhajam for the living entity who has taken this word, and even same thing is told by Rishabh Dev. Nayam deho de bhajam liloke kashtan kama narhate vidbhujami tapo divyam putraka yena sattvam. So de dyasmad brahma sokyam tanantam, where he says like how penance, the divine austerity you have to do to know the self. So
okay, this is a good point. Let's look at that verse. That is in 555 of the Bhagavatam, if I'm not incorrect, and I probably am. It's 551. So 551, Nayam deho deha bhajam nriloke kashtan kamam arhate vidbhujamye tapo divyam putraka yena sattvam shud yed yasmad brahma saukyam chvanantam. So here he says, Nayam, go back up. Not I am this deha bhajam of all living entities who have accepted material bodies in this world, nriloke. It's troublesome. Kashtan, kaman, sense gratification, is not the goal because it's available to vitbhujam, stool eaters, means pigs. They eat stool. Believe it or not. So then he recommends, don't try to get sense gratification because even the animals can get it. And pigs are satisfied with eating stool. They think it's nice. But any gratification here in the material world, this is like the pigs or the crows, because this is inferior nature. So how to get the real thing? As Mukaravinda Prabhu is bringing out, mining from the purport, tapo divyam means austerities and penances which are divine. Not just any austerities. You can get some powers by performing austerities, by disciplining yourself in certain ways, but by doing divine austerities, tapo divyam shudyat, divyam putraka, he says to his sons, yena sattvam, Do those kind of divine austerities. Through it, Shuddhyat, you'll become purified, and from which you will get Brahma Saukyam, or spiritual happiness, which will be unending. And so this is an important point. How to perform spiritual austerities, or Tapodivyam. Navina Prabhu, will you say something about Tapodivyam, related to any other verses or concepts? Tapodivyam. Divine austerities. What does it mean for us?
Divine austerity for us means not just negating the material elements, as Rupa Goswami pointed out, anasakta savishaya anyataram upayunjita nirbandha Krishna sambhande yuktam vairagyam uchite, that we actually use everything in the service of the Lord, not just to negate or to reject or to deny. Because different other groups are also trying to be renounced, the Mayavadis and different types of yogis and meditators. But that is not advised. It is more advisable to see everything in relation to Krishna and use it for Krishna's service.
Thank you very much. Nirkula will give an example of what it means to use a mundane object in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You leaving? You have to go? Okay.
So many things. Cars, computers.
We'll drill down into one of them. What about cars?
Cars are, if we use them in devotional service, they take us to the temple, they take us to do Sankirtan, they take us to do what are seemingly mundane activities, such as grocery shopping.
Such an excellent point you make. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was demonstrative about this, because for many, many years, sannyasis, sadhus would not ride in cars. And to show this principle that Navina Prabhu is bringing up about divine austerity, penance, and then means anasaktasya vishayan, yatarham upayunjita, using the objects of the senses in the service of Krishna, then he had his sannyasis ride in motor cars. In fact, he showed up at Radhakund in a nice motor car, and he brought some of his disciples dressed in Western dress to show that motor cars could be used in the service of the Lord. And Prabhupada emphasized this again and again when he came to the West. He said, I'm using dictaphone. It's a mechanical, a technological creation, but because I'm using it to speak Bhagavatam and make that available to the world, it becomes transcendentalized, right? And similarly, as Nirkula is pointing out, by using cars, we can help to serve Krishna, especially through shopping, through going on Sankirtan and so forth. When I got my car, it had a GPS inside. Of course, it doesn't work anymore because it's out of date. And everyone just uses their phone nowadays. But when I first got it, which was many, many years ago, I had to go visit about 4 Sankirtan spots around the San Jose area. I was driving from one to the next. And I just remember thinking about how Lord Chaitanya would be pleased if a devotee was using a GPS to go find out where all the Sankirtan spots were, and I never would have found them without it. It was telling me go left, go right, and I just followed whatever it said. So these are examples. Thank you, Navina, for putting us on that thread, because when we hear about austerities, practically speaking, it's easy enough to say, well, you know, that's good enough for Brahma, but not for me. But you brought out how to perform austerities, and that is to use normal things in the service of Krishna. There's a verse in the 10th canto, 14th chapter, about how the residents of Vrindavan, because they're devotees, they're householders, although they use everything in service of the Lord, therefore it's a source of liberation. Otherwise, it become foot shackles. You can look up that word, and you'll find it right away in the 10th Canto, 14th chapter. Those who use normal things in their own service become bound. Foot shackles. What? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. 36. 10, 14, 36, please. Thank you. Please repeat. Tavad ragadayastenas. Tavat kara graham graham. Tavan mohon gri nigado. Yavat Krishna natejana. A couple chanters who didn't go last time. Alex. Tavad ragadayastenas. Tavat kara graham graham. Tavan mohon nigado. Yavat Krishna natejana. Unamas. Tavad raga dayastenas. Tavat kara graham graham. Tavan mohan gri nigado. Yavat Krishna natejana. Tavat, for that long. Raga adaya, material attachment and so on. Stena, thieves. Tavat, for that long. Kara graham, a prison. Graham, one's home, especially nowadays. Tavat, for that long. Moha, the bewilderment of family affection. Angri, upon their feet. Nigada, shackles. Yavat, as long as. Krishna, O Lord Krishna. Na, do not become. Te, your devotees. Jana, any persons. Translation. My dear Lord Krishna, until people become your devotees, their material attachments and desires remain thieves, their homes remain prisons, and their affectionate feelings for their family members remain foot shackles. So what are the three examples given here? Radhakripa Prabhu will tell us the three analogies given.
Sorry, Maharaj, you want asking three examples of shackles?
There's three elements to this verse, 3 points that Brahma is making. What are the 3 points?
Brahma is making the first point, until you become a devotee, those whole attachments to them become, otherwise, all the
material attachments become thieves, right?
Thieves,
yeah.
right.
Give an example of how a material attachment is a thief.
Because eventually we are part and parcel of Lord, and the moment we think this is mine, all the material energy I wanted to lord it over, I am going against the nature which is supposed to serve Krishna,
Wow,
the ultimate owner.
Nicely done. What's the second one?
Desires remain thieves, their homes become, home remains prisons.
The home becomes a prison.
Yes.
So what about, how does that work?
Well, because in the home, we keep on serving the family members, with the attachment from a material point of view, we forget that what is our ultimate goal of life. So
okay, that's good. What's a more practical point about that in daily terms?
Daily terms, we keep on serving, buying.
No, more practical.
More practical. Prisons.
The mortgage.
Mortgage.
You buy a home in the Bay Area, and I don't mean to scare anybody from moving out here. I think you should. But if you buy a home in the Bay Area, you're going to pay at least $1 million.
Right.
And how much is the mortgage on that if you put 20% down? You're going to owe a mortgage of $800,000. How much do you have to pay if
Almost
you get
like $3,000 to
a
$4,000.
2% loan? Huh?
Around 3% probably would be 5,000, almost around
5,000 only per
Only.
month.
Yes.
For
Plus
how many
property
years?
tax,
Is that 30 years?
30 years.
Plus property tax, which will be significant, right?
It's almost like 1%, so it's like 6,000, almost like that,
$6,000 only.
only.
So this is another way in which how the home becomes a prison. A prison because you just have to keep breaking rocks, like in a prison, to pay for it. And what's the third thing that he brings up?
The affectionate feeling for their family members remain foot shackles.
Means?
Means the attachment to the family members holds you in wasting the time because you need to take care about them, so you feel like obliged, and in that manner you cannot set yourself free. And
Are you trying to say that you shouldn't have any affection for your family members?
Well, we should have the affection, but with an understanding that these are Krishna's gift to me, and I should utilize, serve them, but make them Krishna conscious.
So you have affection for your family members,
Yes, Maharaj.
but you see it in relationship to Krishna.
I want to actually try to do that.
One day. Find the verse in the 7th canto as quickly as possible. It's in the section of Varnashrama in the Grihastha, where it's mentioned that householders shouldn't be non-affectionate to his, I don't know if that's the wording used, but that's the idea. You can find it. Okay, so the purport is, apparently the residents of Vrindavan, the abode of Lord Krishna, are simple householders engaged in ordinary affairs such as herding cows, cooking, rearing children, and performing religious ceremonies. However, all these activities are intensely engaged in the loving service of Lord Krishna. What ways, Bhakti Alex, are the residents of Vraja intensely engaged in a loving service to Krishna, using their cooking, their cows, and rearing children? How are they intensely engaged? Residents of Vrindavan.
What was the question, Maharaj?
How are the residents of Vraja, that means Goloka Vrindavan, or Gokula Vrindavan, or Bhoma Vrindavan, earthly Vrindavan, they're the same. What are some examples of the way they're intensely engaged in householder affairs, but which are in relationship to Krishna? You can call a friend. Avantika? How are they intensely engaged?
It already said, like, do I explain like each one of those, or do I
No,
say more?
how are the residents of Vrindavan intensely engaged in affairs, like household affairs? They've got cooking going on, right? And what other things do they do in the household affairs? Take care of children?
Yeah, they cook, they clean.
Just like regular people, right? It's like a village. So what ways are they intensely engaged in those things that are in relationship to Krishna? How is it in loving service to Krishna?
They can be cooking.
Like what? Give me a specific pastime.
When Krishna goes there's that one picture that we see during Prasadam prayers when
Yeah.
Krishna is eating Prasadam with all of his friends.
Okay, where'd they get the prasadam?
The residents of Vrindavan.
Like which residents? Where did Krishna get his from?
Yashoda.
Is that a question or an answer?
Answer.
And so, do you know that Yashoda cooks for Krishna? How do you know that? Where does it say it?
I don't know where it's...
Have you ever been here for Noon Artik? Go get the songbook and look up the Noon Artik song. Quick, help her out. Noon Artik song. Yeah, let's hear it. What happens in the arena of cooking and so forth that's spiritual? Sing the first line and then read us the translation for the whole thing.
Bhaja bhakata vatsala Shri Gaura Hari.
Bhaja bhatkata vatsala Shri Gaura Hari. Go ahead, translations.
Just worship Sri Gaurahari, who is always affectionate towards his devotees. He is the same supreme Godhead Krishna who sported in the cowherd pastures of Vraja and stole the hearts of Nanda and Yashoda. Mother Yashoda calls to Krishna, "My dear Damodar, it is very late. Please come right now, sit down in the dining hall and take your lunch."
There you go. Keep going.
On the direction of Nanda Maharaj, Krishna, the holder of Govardhan Hill, sits down, and then all the cowherd boys, along with Krishna's elder brother, Sri Baladev, sit down in rows to take their lunch.
4.
There then served a feast of sukta and various kinds of green...
What's sukta? Nirkula, what is sukta?
It's a mixed vegetable stew.
Mixed vegetable stew.
Then nice fried things, and a salad made of the green leaves of the jute plant. They are also served pumpkin, baskets of delicacies made of dal, small square cakes made of lentils and cooked down milk, then thick yogurt, squash cooked in milk, and vegetable preparations made from the tower of the banana tree.
Wow. Keep going.
Then they receive fried squares of moong dal and urad dal patties, chapatis, and rice with ghee.
Yay. Keep going.
Next, they are served sweets made with milk, sugar, and sesame, rice flour cakes, thick cooked down milk, cakes floating in milk, and sweet rice. There is also sweet rice that tastes just like nectar due to its being mixed with camphor. There are bananas and cheese that is nectarian and delicious. The boys are also served 12 kinds of sour preparations made with tamarinds, limes, lemons, oranges, and pomegranates.
Yahoo. Keep going.
There are puris made with white flour and sugar, puris filled with cream, laddus and dal
Puris filled with cream. Keep going.
laddus and dal patties boiled in sugared rice.
And most people are driving through Del Taco and getting some karmic creation. Okay, keep
Krishna
going.
eagerly eats all of the food.
Yes, he does. Okay, keep going.
In great ecstasy and joy, Krishna eats the rice, curried vegetables, sweets, and pastries cooked by Srimati Radharani. Krishna's funny Brahmana friend Madhu Mangal, who's very fond of laddus, gets them by hook or by crook. Eating the laddus, he shouts, "Haribo!"
Haribo! Haribo!
and makes a funny sound by slapping his sides under his armpits. Watching Radharani and her gopi friends from the corners of his eyes, Krishna eats at the house of Mother Yashoda with great satisfaction. After lunch, Krishna drinks rose-scented water, then all the boys standing in lines wash their mouths. After all, the cowherd boys wash their hands and mouths. In great bliss, they take rest with Lord Balaram. The two cowherd boys, Jambula and Rasla, then bring Krishna pan made with betel nuts, fancy
Beetle nuts.
Huh?
Beetle.
Betel nuts, fancy spices, and katechu. After eating that pan, Sri Krishna Chandra then happily goes to sleep. While Krishna happily takes his rest on an excellent bedstead, his servant Vishalaksha cools him with a fan of peacock feathers. At Mother Yashoda's request, the gopi Dhanishta brings Srimati Radharani remnants of food left on Krishna's plate, and she eats them with great delight.
Very good, very good.
Lalita Devi and the other gopis then receive the remnants, and within their hearts they sing the glories of Radharani and Krishna with great joy. Thakur Bhakti Vinod, whose one and only joy is the pastimes of Lord Hari, sings this Bhoga Arti song.
Haribo! Haribo! Puris filled with cream. So this is an example of how in the spiritual world there's cooking going on. We see it in Jagannath Puri where the Lord eats 54 times a day, 54 offerings, huge amounts of prasadam all day long being cooked, and the Lord's eating it constantly. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was receiving gifts of food all the time from his servants. Everyone liked to cook for Mahaprabhu, and they would bring them to his servant Govinda. And then Govinda would bring it to Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu said, "I'll take it later. You can put it in storage." So Govinda put it in a room, and more people brought offerings, and Mahaprabhu kept saying, put it aside, put it aside. And then the devotees were coming up to Govinda, and they were saying, did he eat my preparation? Did he like it? And Govinda had to lie, because they would become so upset if he said Mahaprabhu didn't touch it. He just said, put it aside. So he said, yeah. So Govinda came back to Mahaprabhu and he complained. He said, my Lord, I have to tell all these devotees lies because they're asking me if you're taking the preparations, and I keep saying yes, but they're just sitting there. And, what's going to happen? And the Mahaprabhu said, you worry too much. Bring them all to me now. So he brought all of the preparations that had been stored for many, many days in one room. And by the Lord's mercy, they were all as fresh as they had been cooked. And Govinda started serving them out, and Mahaprabhu ate them one after another. Enough for thousands of men. And Mahaprabhu ate them all, one after the other, and then he said, is that all? And then he said, there's the bags of Raghava, they're still there. So then Mahaprabhu said, we'll save the bags of Raghava. He relished them so much, Raghavira Jali. They were cooked with such love and care by Damayanti that Mahaprabhu relished every morsel of them. He used to take it out, and with great love, he would take those preparations that she cooked, because she had this special bhava when she cooked for Mahaprabhu, and all the bhoga was packed in special packets and so forth. So this is one example. If we look at our verse here from Brahma, and Prabhupada says that however, all these activities are intensely engaged in the loving service of Lord Krishna, intensely engaged in cooking. How many preparations are cooked every day for Krishna? And in the Brihad Bhagavatamrita, it's mentioned how every day when Krishna leaves for the forest, he's just a little boy and he's going off with his boyfriends and the calves into the forest. And Mother Yashoda is never looking forward to this because she has to be separated from Krishna for the day. But she wants to make sure that he gets his lunch. So she cooks a nice lunch, and all the boys have lunch packets cooked by their mothers. But Yashoda, she goes after Krishna as he's heading off into the pasture and said, did you get your lunch? He said, Mom, I got my lunch. No problem. And she turns around. Then she comes back again and said, now you make sure you eat your lunch. And 7 times she comes back to check on him, to make sure he's got his lunch, he's going to eat his lunch, doesn't lose his lunch, and so forth. And so this is in the intensity of cooking and offering of prasadam, and to Krishna giving the nicest preparations of all. In fact, in the pastime where Krishna becomes angry at Yashoda because she puts him down from nursing and goes off to attend to the milk on the stove, actually they had picked the best cows out of millions and millions of cows. They had picked all the best ones, and then they'd given those cows the best grass that they could find anywhere to get milk that was absolutely perfect. And that was what was cooking on the stove for Krishna, and when Mother Yashoda put him down. So there's an intensity that goes on throughout Vraja in the cooking. And in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes, we know that he likes sak. Don't we? Yes. How do we know that? From what pastime do we know how much he likes sak? Shakori Ashvadana. He says in Eka Dina Shantipure Prabhu Advaitera Gare Dui Prabhu Bojane Boshilo Shakori Ashvadana Prabhu Boli Bhaktagana Eshak Krishna Ashvadilo. In this song written by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he's talking about the pastime of Mahaprabhu one day taking prasadam at the house of Advaitacharya, and there he's being given sak, cooked by his mother Shachi. And then he's saying this sak is so delicious, Krishna has definitely tasted it. He goes into a kind of ecstasy. And there's many different kinds of sak. So then Mahaprabhu is saying, this kind of sak bestows a particular benediction upon the devotee. If you eat this sak, this is what you're going to get. And if you eat this sak, you're going to get this special benediction. And there are many, many different kinds of sak. So this is one of the intense preoccupations in the spiritual world. Anyone want to go? Yes. Raise your hand, Nirkula. Okay. So this is not binding. Cooking is not binding if it's being offered to Krishna. And what's more, as far as prasadam goes, what does Rupa Goswami say about the loving exchanges between devotees? What is the admonition that he gives, or the recommendation that he says about that. Yes.
The verse?
Yeah, say it.
Tadati pratigrinati guyamakyati prichati punkte bhojayate chaiva
Sad means 6.
sadvidam
Vidam.
pratilakshanam.
What is priti lakshanam? Lakshanam, say lakshanam.
Lakshanam.
Lakshana means the characteristic of something. And what is priti? Priti means, love and affection. So what does priti lakshana mean?
Loving character.
The characteristics of love. And what are they? There's 6. Sadvidam priti lakshanam. Yeah.
Sadvidam pratilakshanam. So the first one is inquiring confidence.
Dadati prati grinati. So dadati means to give something, and grinati means to accept something.
So giving and accepting gifts.
Yes? The next one?
Guyam.
What does guyam mean?
Yeah.
Secret.
Yeah. So revealing your
Yeah, that which is in your heart. You're bringing it out to other devotees, right? And then you listen to them. Guyam akyati prichyati. You inquire from them. Then now you're on the one.
Punkte bhojayate chaiva.
What does that mean?
So inviting them to eat prasadam.
Yeah, you give prasadam and you?
Take prasadam.
Yeah. These are the 6 exchanges of love that go on between one devotee and another. It's constant in the spiritual world. Different preparations being offered to Krishna, unlimited varieties, and then the devotees, they're fighting over them. When Mahaprabhu finished taking prasadam, all the devotees would rush in and they all made excuses of why they had to have their remnants. And they were fighting over them, taking just whatever they could get, they would walk away with. And so this is the intensity in the spiritual world. So eating is there in the spiritual world. Cooking is there. Does that require cooking pots? And all kinds of utensils? Everything required. But when it's all for Krishna and for the devotees, then it becomes transcendental. Is that tapo divyam? Let's ask our judges. We have a Bhaktivedanta judge here. Yes. That is confirmed that if you're cooking for Krishna, this is tapo divyam. Who's in the kitchen now, Avantika? Hansapriya is doing tapo divyam in the kitchen. Doesn't mean we're serving prasadam today, though. So don't come down. Okay, so thus one should not misunderstand the exalted position of the residents of Vrindavana, nor should one consider oneself highly religious simply because one performs ordinary domestic affairs very enthusiastically, but without Krishna consciousness. By focusing our passionate attachment on our family and society, we are completely deviated from the progressive path of Krishna consciousness. Conversely, if we engage our family in the loving service of the Lord, our endeavors to maintain our family become part and parcel of our progressive spiritual duties. Problem solved. In conclusion, by studying the extraordinary status of the residents of Vrindavan, we can see that the essential quality of their lives is pure Krishna consciousness, the rendering of loving service to the Lord without a trace of material desires or mental speculation. Such loving service to the original personality of God, it immediately creates the atmosphere of Sri Vrindavan Dham, the kingdom of God. And now we'll take a couple of reflections from the internet. Or if you're on the telephone line, then you can just speak up so we can hear you. There's quite a few of you out there today. So
it's from Vaikuntha Nayak Prabhu. He is from
Vaikuntha Nayaka Prabhu.
Yeah, he was saying his reflection from the original verse, which we started from the creative energy prayer. So he says, second, in the purport, it was said, only by penance can one appreciate the beauty and opulence of the Lord. And when one is acquainted with that beauty and opulence, he is no longer attracted by any other. Then he is giving his reflection. Reminded of how one so-called great man went about asking, can you show me God? Srila Prabhupada chastised this type of questions and rather said our focus should be to develop eyes to see God.
Very good. Can you show me God? But you should develop eyes to see God. Okay. Any other reflections or questions, either from the studio audience or from the online?
So, and this is from Padmanabh Jagannath Das Prabhu.
Padmanabha Jagannath.
Hearing about the peak of ignorance make me think about all the difficulty people go to the hike up, like the Himalayas and Mount Everest. They got all their gear on, and is it very difficult task. And I think that has to pretend that there is no God is similarly as difficult.
Well done. He said that it's so difficult to climb up to the peak of the Himalaya, Mount Everest, and similarly difficult to try to speculate and deny God. It makes life very difficult, very, very difficult indeed. Nirakula.
Shraddha wrote in with a reflection, only by penance can one appreciate the beauty and opulence of the Lord, and when one is acquainted with that beauty and opulence, he is no longer attracted by any other.
That was a popular one because that's the third time we've got that feedback so far.
Dhruva Maharaj's life is an example of this.
Dhruva Maharaj's life is an example of performing penance? Yeah. Performed penance and he saw the Lord. Chitraketu also. He was able to see the Lord within 7 days by doing the penance of. How did Chitraketu perform penance? Let's ask our Bhaktivedanta. What did Chitraketu do as his penance? He got a mantra. He got a mantra, and then he was able to see Sankarsana within 7 days. Perfected the mantra. And it's similar to what we heard in the Brahma Samhita just a few minutes ago. What was it that happened? Ata te pe sasuchiram prinam govinamaviyam shweta dipa patim krishnam golokastam paratpanam. Prakrita rupinya paripasitam sahasradala sampande. He says, ata te pe, the austerity that he performed was to chant the mantra. Because by the mantra, says Divya Saraswati, then you'll attain all perfection. Everything will be bestowed upon you by chanting the mantra. Yes. Sundarananda.
Sundaranand Prabhu says, what beautiful explanation for austerity, that is to use everything we have in Lord Krishna's service.
Yes, this is the definition of austerity, to use everything that we have in Krishna's service. Very good. Okay, so now I asked you for a verse from the 7th canto. May I have it, please? What is the verse number?
7:15.
7:15.
7:14, 3 and 4.
7:14, 3 and 4. Let's see if you got the right one. Down. 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 Up. Thank you. A grihastha must associate again and again with saintly persons, and with great respect he must hear the nectar of the activities of the Supreme Lord and his incarnations, as these activities are described in Srimad Bhagavatam and the other Puranas. Thus one should gradually become detached from affection for his wife and children, exactly as a man waking from a dream. Not the right one. It says that he should not withhold his emotions or his appreciation for his family. Yeah, externally, that one. So the point is that in a practical way, somebody who's a grihastha should still have, even if one is developing detachment, externally one should not withhold affection, because that will stunt the growth of one's family. It'll be artificial. Okay, so now we're back to the Srimad Bhagavatam verse that we started with, and I'm continuing with the purport because I think I only got to the first paragraph. Is that correct? Yes? So the second paragraph says, one can know the supreme cause, the personality of Godhead, by the causeless mercy of the Lord, which is bestowed upon the Lord's pure devotees like Brahma and those in his disciplic succession. By acts of penance only was Lord Brahma able to see Garbhodakshai Vishnu, and by realization only he could understand the Lord as he is. Brahma was extremely satisfied upon observing the magnificent beauty and opulence of the Lord, and he admitted that nothing can be comparable to him. Only by penance can one appreciate the beauty and opulence of the Lord, and when one is acquainted with that beauty and opulence, he is no longer attracted by any other. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Param Drishva Nivartate. So that's the fourth time we've heard that part. Foolish human beings who do not endeavor to investigate the supreme beauty and opulence of the Lord are here condemned by Brahma. It is imperative that every human being try for such knowledge, and if anyone does not do so, his life is spoiled. Anything that is beautiful and opulent in the material sense is enjoyed by those living entities who are like crows. Oh, we read this. Crows always engage in picking at rejected garbage, whereas the white ducks do not mix with the crows. Rather, they take pleasure in transparent lakes with lotus flowers, surrounded by beautiful orchards. Both crows and ducks are undoubtedly birds by birth, but they are not of the same feather. Text number 2. Rupam yad etad avaboda rasoda yena. Please repeat. Shashvan nivrittatamasad sadanugrahaya adau grahitam avatara shataika bijam yanabi padma bhavanad aham avirasam rupam form, yat, which, etat, that, of abodha rasa, of your internal potency, udayena, with the manifestation, shashvat, forever, nivrata, freed from, tamasa, material contamination, sad anugrahaya, for the sake of the devotees, adau, original in the creative energy of matter. Grihitam, accepted. Avatara, of incarnations. Shata eka bijam, the root cause of hundreds. Yat, that which. Nabi padma, the navel lotus flower. Bhavanat, from the home. Aham, myself. Avirasam, generated. Translation, the form which I see is eternally freed from material contamination and has advented to show mercy to the devotees as a manifestation of internal potency. This incarnation is the origin of many other incarnations, and I am born from the lotus flower grown from your navel home. Purport. The three deities, Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara, Shiva, the executive heads of the three modes of material nature, passion, goodness, and ignorance, are all generated from Garbhodakshai Vishnu, who is described herein by Brahma. Where in the first canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam are the three qualitative incarnations of the Lord mentioned? In the second chapter. And what is the verse? Sattvam rajas tamaiti prakritir gunastar yukta para eka ihasya date stityade hari varinshi hareti samja shayamsi tatra kalu sattva tanor nirnam suhu. Let's look at that verse really quick. Li. Sattvam rajas tamaiti, that is 1, 2, 22. 1, 2, 22. Everyone at home say 1, 2, 22. A little louder so we can hear you at home. That's not it. 22. 23. 1, 2, 23. If you got a tattoo of 1, 2, 22, you got to get it erased and put 23. Please repeat. Sattvam rajas tamayiti prakriter gunasthayar. Yukta para purusha ekahi hasya date. Stityadaye hari varinchi hareti sangya. Shayamsi tatra kalu safatanor nirnam suhu. Let's look at the meaning of this verse. Let's look at the translation. The transcendental personality of Godhead is indirectly associated with the three modes of material nature, namely passion, goodness, and ignorance. And just for the material world's creation, maintenance, and destruction, he accepts the three qualitative forms of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. Of these three, all human beings can derive ultimate benefit from Vishnu, the form of the quality of goodness. So this Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, from whom may one attain the ultimate goal of life and attain the highest benefit from which of these deities? And why is that? He's the form of the quality of Sattvagun, right? Okay, let's look at the purport. That Lord Sri Krishna, by his plenary parts, should be rendered devotional service is explained above. It is confirmed by this statement. Lord Sri Krishna and all his plenary parts are Vishnu Tattva, or the Lordship of Godhead. From Sri Krishna, the next manifestation is Baladev. Is who? Baladev. From Baladev is Sankarshana. Who? From Sankarshana is Narayana. Who? Narayana. From Narayana, there is the second Sankarshana. The who? Second Sankarshana. And from this Sankarshana, the Vishnu Purusha avatars. Who? The Vishnu, or the deity of the quality of goodness in the material world, is the Purusha avatara known as Shira Dakshai Vishnu, or Paramatma. Or who? Brahma is the deity of Rajas, passion, and Shiva of ignorance. They are the three departmental heads of the three qualities of this material creation, material world. Creation is made possible by Brahma's quality of passion and his endeavor. It is maintained by the goodness of Vishnu, and when it requires to be destroyed, Lord Shiva does it by the Tandavarnritya. The materialist and the foolish human beings worship Brahma and Shiva respectively, but the pure transcendentalists worship the form of goodness, Vishnu, in his various forms. Vishnu is manifested by his millions and billions of integrated forms and separated forms. The integrated forms are called Godhead, and the separated forms are called the living entities, or the jivas. Both, if you're a jiva, raise your hand. Okay, I want to check if there are any incarnations in here. The integrated forms are called Godhead, and the separated forms are called the living entities, or the jivas. Both the jivas and Godhead have their original spiritual forms. Jivas are sometimes subjected to the control of material energy. Anyone? But the Vishnu forms are always controllers of this energy. When Vishnu, the personality of Godhead, appears in the material world, he comes to deliver the conditioned living beings who are under the material energy. Such living beings appear in the material world with intentions of being lords, and thus they become entrapped by the three modes of nature. As such, the living entities have to change their material coverings for undergoing different forms of imprisonment. The prison house of the material world is created by Brahma under instruction of the personality of Godhead, and at the conclusion of the kalpa, the whole thing is destroyed by Shiva. But as far as maintenance of the prison house is concerned, it is done by Lord Vishnu, as much as the state prison house is maintained by the state. Anyone, therefore, who wishes to get out of this prison house of material existence, which is full of miseries like repetition of birth, death, disease, and old age, must please Lord Vishnu for such liberation. What must one do if one wants to get out of the prison house of the material world? Please, Lord Vishnu. Say again. Say again. Say again. Say again. One more time. Everyone at home, please say, please, Lord Vishnu. Please, Lord Vishnu. That's how to get out of the prison house of the material world. Where was I? Please, Lord Vishnu. Anyone who wishes, therefore, to get out of this prison house of material existence, which is full of miseries, like repeated birth, death, what's the third one? Disease? Does that ever happen in the material world? Yes. On this planet ever? Anybody ever get diseased? Anybody ever worry about disease? But not very much, right? They don't worry very much about disease. And old age must please Lord Vishnu for such liberation. Lord Vishnu is worshipped by devotional service only. And if anyone has to continue prison life in the material world, he may ask for relative facilities for temporary relief from the different demigods like Shiva, Brahma, Indra, and Varuna. No demigod, however, can release the imprisoned living being from the conditioned life of material existence. This can be done only by Vishnu. Therefore, the ultimate benefit may be derived from Vishnu, the personality of Godhead. So now we know for sure, if you worship Vishnu, then you're properly situated, right? Now back to our verse. The three deities, Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara, Shiva, the executive heads of the three modes of material nature, passion, goodness, and ignorance, are all generated from Garbhodakshay Vishnu, who is described herein by Brahma. And if at any time you wanted to give somebody a summary of the three qualitative deities in the material world, which verse would you refer to in the Bhagavatam? 1:2:23. That's correct. Sattvam rajas tama iti prakritir gunas tayar. From the Kshirodakshay Vishnu, many Vishnu incarnations expand at different ages in the duration of the cosmic manifestation. They are expanded only for the transcendental happiness of the pure devotees. The incarnations of Vishnu who appear at different ages and times are never to be compared to the conditioned souls. The Vishnu Tattvas are not to be compared to deities like Brahma and Shiva, nor are they on the same level. Anyone who compares them is called a Pashandi or infidel. Now there's a verse that describes this. You'll find in your verse book. Yastu Narayanam Devam Brahma Rudradi Daivatai Samatvena Viksheta Saprashandi Bhavedruvam. That's where that comes from. It says that if someone thinks that Brahma and Shiva are on the same level as Vishnu, then they are known as Pashandis. That's not a good word, Pashandi. I mean, it's not good to be a Pashandi, is it? Could you get the verse book? Look up that verse. Yastu Narayanam Devam. Anyone who compares them is called a Pashandi or infidel. Tamasa, mentioned herein, is the material nature, and the spiritual nature has a completely separate existence from Tama. Therefore, spiritual nature is called Avabodha Rasa and Avabodha Rasa, Avarodha Rasa. Avarodha means that which completely nullifies. In the transcendence, there is no chance of material contact by any means. Brahma is the first living being, and therefore he mentions his birth from the lotus flower generated from the abdomen of Garbhodakshay Vishnu. Yastu Narayanam Devam.
Yastu Narayanam Devam Brahma Rudra Didaivate Samatvenaiva Viksheta Sapashandi Bhavedruvam. This is from the Padma Purana. It was quoted in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila 18.116.
18.116, Madhya Lila. Go ahead.
A person who considers demigods like Brahma and Shiva to be on an...
Madhya.
to be on an equal level with Narayana is to be considered an offender and an atheist.
Ha ha ha. And now, 116. Oh, what is it from? Madhya?
Madhya Lila, 18th chapter. Yeah, that one.
There you go. Yastu Narayanam Devam, please repeat. Brahma Rudradi Daivatai Samatvenaiva Viksheta Sapashandi Bhavedruvam. Translation is, together, a person who considers demigods like Brahma and Shiva to be on an equal level with Narayana is to be considered an offender or Pashandi. Once, the demigods, as they were fighting the demons, became situated in a disadvantageous situation because the Mayadanava was working for the demons, and he had created 3 cities in the air. And from that vantage point, the demons were fighting with the demigods, and they were able to defeat them. So the demigods petitioned Lord Shiva to help them. And he came to help, and with his mighty arrows, he began killing all the demons in these 3 aerial cities. But then Mayadanava created a lake of nectar, which apparently is available through certain Ayurvedic doctors, none of which I have found yet. And in this pool of special Ayurvedic medicine, Mayadanava or anyone would dip the dead demons and they would come out alive. But not just alive, but with more strength than they had before. And now Shiva was overwhelmed because they were coming back and multiplying, and he was losing the fight. At that time, Alex, do you like this story so far? At that time, Lord Brahma came along with Lord Vishnu in the form of a cow and a calf. And they walked into the assembly of the demons where this pond of nectar was situated. And they went forward and they began to drink it all. And Mayadanava, witnessing this and noticing that the potency of Lord Vishnu was so strong that no one could check the cow and the calf from drinking them, said that whether one is a demigod, a human being, a demon, or anyone else, one cannot undo the plan of the Lord at any time or in any place, because Lord Vishnu's plan is always carried out, and you can't check it. And so when he drank all this, the demons then couldn't bring back their soldiers, and then Lord Shiva became successful in subduing them, and he became glorified as Tripurari because he destroyed the 3 cities of the demons. And Lord Vishnu in that way glorified his devotee, Lord Shiva. But here it shows the great power of Lord Vishnu, even over the mighty Lord Shiva. And there are other stories as well. For instance, Mohini Murti's story, where Lord Shiva becomes attracted to Mohini Murti, and he basically loses his mind. And Lord Vishnu, in the form of Mohini Murti, ran in front of all the hermitages all over the world where the sages were worshiping Lord Shiva. And they saw Lord Shiva completely lost in absorption in Mohini Murti, chasing after her. And how did, when he realized that he had lost himself in this, how did Lord Shiva feel? Yes?
I think he felt really happy seeing the illusionary energy of his Lord. He was very happy.
He was happy that he was defeated to
Defeated
show
by the Lord.
the power of Lord Vishnu. So we can understand from the section we're in now that Lord Brahma is subordinate to Lord Vishnu. We can also understand throughout the Bhagavatam how Lord Shiva is also subordinate to Vishnu. So one can simply concentrate one's full worship on Lord Vishnu, correct? Yes. Was it done by previous sages? Did they worship Lord Vishnu? Why did they worship Lord Vishnu? Because they had ascertained the same thing we're ascertaining right now, and that is that the ultimate benefit in life can be achieved by worshiping Lord Vishnu because he's above the three modes of material nature. And what is the verse, Navina? It's in 1:2:24. The next verse after Sattvam Rajas Tamai Iti. And it says, Bejure Muni. No, that's not it. It's before it. Is it? Everyone okay? Navina, you're okay? There you go. 1:2:25. Everyone, please repeat. Bejure Munio Tagre. Bhagavantam Adoksajam. Saffam Vishudham Shemaya. Kalpante Yenutaniha. Translation is, previously all the great sages rendered service unto the personality of Godhead due to his existence above the three modes of material nature. They worshipped him to become free from material conditions and thus derive the ultimate benefit. Whoever follows such great authorities is also eligible for liberation from the material world. Purport. This purpose of performing religion is neither to profit by material gain nor to get the simple knowledge of discerning matter from spirit. The ultimate aim of religious performances is to release oneself from material bondage and regain the life of freedom in the transcendental world, where the personality of God is the supreme person. Laws of religion, therefore, are directly enacted by the personality of Godhead, and except for the Mahajanas, or the authorized agents of the Lord, no one knows the purpose of religion. There are 12 particular agents of the Lord who know the purpose of religion, and all of them render transcendental service unto him. Persons who desire their own good may follow these Mahajans and thus attain the supreme benefit. Please list the Mahajans, the 12 Mahajans. Narada Muni, okay, 1. Go ahead, give us the full verse.
Svayambhu Nararakshambhu Kumara Kopilo Manu Pralada Jaganaka Bhishmo Palirvaya Sakirvayam.
So he gave one of them, Narada. Now can you give the other 11, please?
Swayambhu Manu, Narada, Shambhu Lord Shiva, Kumaras, Kapiladev, Manu, Swayambhu Nararakshambhu Kumara Kapilo Manu Pralada, Janaka, Bhishma, Bali Maharaj, and Shukadeva Goswami.
Come on, give it up. Well done, well done. And this verse points out that the Mahajans are all pointing us in the same direction, and that is worshiping Lord Vishnu. So if you want to attain the ultimate goal of life, which, as Prabhupada mentions here, is what? To be released from the material bondage. Then you have to worship Lord, not Shiva? Brahma. True or false? Okay. Worship Lord Vishnu. Yes. So we have 2 verses proving that, and 1 verse, a prohibitive verse, saying you shouldn't compare Lord Brahma and Shiva to Vishnu and say they're on an equal level. Samat venaina viksheta. Don't say they're sama. They're not equal. Vishnu's on a higher level. And we heard Sattvam Rajas Tamayiti Prakritir Gunastha Yukta Para Eka Ihasidate Stityare Shiva Vrinchi Hareti Samgya Shreyamsi Yatra Kalo Sattva Tanor Nirnamsu. If you want Shreya, if you want to attain the ultimate goal of life, raise your hand. Okay, everyone's in. Then you worship Lord Vishnu. And Bejare Muniotagre Bhagavantam Adhoksajam. Previously, all the great Mahajans, they worship Lord Vishnu. So you're situated properly. You can breathe a sigh of relief that you're doing the right thing by worshiping Lord Vishnu only. Okay? Continuing. Did you find that verse? You found it. Okay, what is it? 7:14:5. Let's look at it. Yavad artam upasino dehe gehe chapandita virakto raktavad tatra. Make a list of these verses that we look up. Nriloke naratam nyaset. How about dehe gehe? Dehe gehe. Dehe gehe chapandita. Yavadartam. As much endeavor for one's livelihood as necessary. Upasina. Earning. Dehe. In the body. Gehe. In family matters. Cha. Also. Panditaha. One who is learned. Virakta. Not at all attached. Raktavat. As if very much attached. Tatra. In this. Nriloke. Human society. Naratam. The human form. Nasyat. One should depict. Translation. Are you ready for the translation? While working to earn his livelihood as much as necessary to maintain body and soul together, one who is actually learned should live in human society unattached to family members, although externally appearing family affairs. While working to earn his livelihood as much as necessary to maintain body and soul together, one who is actually learned should live in human society unattached to family affairs, although externally appearing very much attached. Purport. This is the picture of ideal family life. Thank you. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Ramananda Roy about the goal of life, Ramananda Roy described it in different ways according to the recommendations of the revealed scriptures. And finally, Sri Ramananda Roy explained that one may stay in his own position, whether as a brahmana, a shudra, a sannyasi, or whatever, but one must try to inquire about life's goal. Atato brahma jignasa. This is the proper utilization of the human form of life. When one misuses the gift of the human form by unnecessarily indulging in the animal propensities of eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, and does not try to get out of the clutches of Maya, which subjects one to repeated birth and death, old age and disease, one is again punished by being forced to descend to the lower species and undergo evolution according to the laws of nature. That's not good. Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasha. Being completely under the grip of material nature, the living entity must evolve again from the lower species to the higher species until he at last returns to human life and gets the chance to be freed from material clutches. A wise man, however, learns from the Shastras and Guru that we living entities are all eternal, but are put into troublesome conditions because of associating with different modes under the laws of material nature. He therefore concludes that in human form of life, he should not endeavor for unnecessary necessities. He should not endeavor for unnecessary necessities, like too much toilet paper, but should live a very simple life, just maintaining body and soul together. Certainly one requires some means of livelihood, and according to one's varna and ashrama, this means of livelihood is prescribed in the Shastras. One should be satisfied with this. Therefore, instead of hankering for more and more money, A sincere devotee of the Lord tries to invent some ways to earn his livelihood, and when he does so, Krishna helps him. Earning one's livelihood, therefore, is not a problem. The real problem is how to get free from the bondage of birth, death, and old age. Attaining this freedom and not inventing unnecessary necessities is the basic principle of Vedic civilization. One should be satisfied with whatever means of life comes automatically. The modern materialistic civilization is just the opposite of the ideal civilization. Every day, the so-called leaders of modern society invent something contributing to a cumbersome way of life that implicates people more and more in the cycle of birth and death, old age, and disease. What a purport. And go back up to the word for word, please. Yeah, as I mentioned here, raktavat, rakta, as if very much attached. So there's a way in which one cooperates with the external environment, while at the same time cultivating Krishna consciousness. Because if you become artificially or externally you become detached, then you'll create havoc. Externally detached. Yes, Prabhu.
Well, Maharaj, can you give us elaborate a little bit more on how to be
Raktavat?
showing, that's like you're externally showing you're attached but detached, practical way, because
Practical
this
way?
is this is a bit more complex, because the moment you if you are engaged, you see the senses, you get attracted, you get attached, and then you get entangled in that one. But how to practically in family life be in that situation?
Practically? Well, one way, very practically, is to do your duty to take care of your family. As you go on taking care of your family, then there's a way in which you're extending yourself to them, taking care of them physically, but also emotionally as well. That I have seen in the past history that when devotees took up Krishna consciousness and also Grihastha ashram, there was this emphasis on renunciation, which is really a product of gyan, not of bhakti. As we proved earlier, the residents of Vrindavan are very attached, intensely, except that everything they have is connected to Krishna. So it's not a problem. It's actually charming and beautiful and transcendental. But as I was mentioning, early householders in Krishna consciousness, oftentimes, even though they were still attached internally, externally they tried to show emotional or create emotional distance between them and their families. For instance, a householder man might treat his wife and children indifferently, thinking that it's a sign of weakness to show affection, for instance, to the kids and say, I love you, and support them and so forth. And instead, that person might then be cold towards them and say, well, I'm not really your father. We're all just living entities and so forth. And so there's this psychological necessity that children, wife, even husband, everyone in the family has to have some connection for their svabhava, their personality, according to the modes of material nature. So just as we have to have food, we also have to have affection from loved ones. At the same time, the cultivation is going on in the family of understanding that, yeah, we're family members right now, but we're just passing through. And so internally there's this awakening awareness of the fact that my family members are here as representatives of Krishna, and I'm here to take care of them, but actually we're moving on soon. Navina Prabhu.
Thank you. I have a question. We have different examples in our tradition of that. We know of Raghunath Das Goswami, who was told by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that you go home and you just act as you're attached. And then we know later on he attained full shelter at Mahaprabhu's lotus feet. Then there's an example of another acharya, I forget his name, whose wife was pregnant, and he thought, okay, once she gives birth, then
Sridhar Swami.
yeah, then I'll take off. Then the wife died at childbirth, so he was stuck with the baby, but then he looked at those, what was it, a gecko or something, or
Yeah.
a lizard, who caught a little insect, and he thought, okay, Shniki can take care of itself, and he took off immediately. Then we have the example of Srila Prabhupada, or example of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Some of them stayed in household life, some of them went on towards renunciation. So can you say something on what are the discerning factors which should inspire or guide us in our lives?
So it's the first part where Prabhupada talks about how you have to have central strength. Krishna, 8th chapter.
Who should inspire and guide us in our lives so we do not immaturely or artificially tread either towards renunciation or towards staying in a situation which right now may look perfect but may just not be so conducive to Krishna consciousness.
What a good question, Navina Prabhu. Very practical. Well, I did read in the Lilamrita about Srila Prabhupada's life that he had been a householder for some time, and he found it at a certain point to be intolerable because he was so fixed on the order of his spiritual master. He had done his duty to his children. He didn't neglect it, nor did he after he took vanaprastha or sannyas. He provided, even after he left, still to this day, there's some stipend that goes to his family members because of that sense of duty. However, there was a point at which he became stifled by the atmosphere in the Grahastha ashram. And then he found a good excuse to leave and take vanaprastha life. When he became a vanaprastha, he wanted to become more engaged in service to his guru in the mission. By that time, it was difficult for him to find service. In fact, he had found some service in one of the mutts, and that was in continuing their publication of a monthly newsletter. And Prabhupada became so enthusiastic about it, it spooked them, because he had this thought that it would become as big as Life magazine and spread all over the world. And they said, we're a little mutt. We're not interested in big stuff. We need a little rice dal and chapatis. No, just rice and dal. It's Bengal. And so they released him. They sent the letter. That letter is reproduced in the Lilamrita. And then Prabhupada asked several godbrothers, he asked Tirtha Maharaj what he should do. Should I take sannyas and become an itinerant preacher? Because that's what it meant at that time. If you're going to be an itinerant preacher, you had to put on saffron. So then Tirtha Maharaj, who was one of the parties in the Gaudiya Math, they were fighting amongst themselves, and the two main parties who were putting forward their next acharya for the Math, for the Gaudiya Math. He was one of them, and he told Abhay Charanara Vinda that, well, if you join our mutt and make sure you're loyal to our side, then we'll think about your sannyas. Meanwhile, Prabhupada's guru was calling to him in dreams, saying, come out, take sannyas. And Prabhupada was being pushed by this because he was seeing his guru do that. And he said, he was ambivalent about it. In fact, he said, I was horrified at this idea. Then he finally went to godbrother Bhakti Pragnam Keshav Maharaj, who was a sannyasi, and he said, here's what's going on, here's who I've talked to, here's my life situation, what should I do? And Bhakti Pragnam Keshav Maharaj said, you should take sannyas immediately. And the Prabhupada did. And so often is the case in one's life, we're not exactly sure what the next step is, but we're tuning in to Paramatma. We're tuning into the advice of our mentors. We're looking for the right mentor. And if you're sincere about it, when you find the right mentor, there'll be a convergence of your sincere desire with the exact right instruction, and everything lines up. And then you'll say, yes, that's it. And then you go for it. And even if everything doesn't completely line up, it's close enough. And you go for it, and you take that. I'm just talking, go for it means there's a way in which, I'm talking about Prabhupada taking sannyas. And then you said, someone might say, no, stay in the position you're in. So Prabhupada gives this advice in the 8th canto of the Bhagavatam, in which he says that from Gajendra, now from this we may take the lesson that in our fight with Maya, we should not be in a position in which our strength, enthusiasm, and senses will be unable to fight vigorously. Our Krishna consciousness movement has actually declared war against the illusory energy in which all living entities are rotting in a false understanding of civilization. The soldiers in this Krishna conscious movement must always possess physical strength, enthusiasm, and sensual power. That's SESP. To keep themselves fit, they must therefore place themselves in a normal condition of life. What constitutes a normal condition will not be the same for everyone. And therefore, there are divisions of varnashrama, brahmana, kshatriya, vaishya, shudra, brahmacharya, grahastha, vanaprastha, and sannyas. Especially in this age, it is advised that one not take sannyas. And so Prabhupada goes on to explain that much of the same, that you have to find the place where you feel strong in fighting against Maya. And then you have to, in order to ascertain that you're doing the right thing, it's good to have mentorship from those who are advanced in devotional service and have your well-being in mind. And sometimes it requires more than one mentor. Sometimes you'll be convinced by just one. Nira Akula looks very stern right now, so she has some important point to make on this.
No, I'm just trying to remember what my point was. Okay. Going back to when you were answering Radhakripa Prabhu's question, it made me think of the movement in the early days, and you kind of touched upon it, where there was some kind of fanaticism about not showing affection to families, and because of that, family life, the children suffered. And so I was thinking that it's not that we have to do something aside from practicing Krishna consciousness and at the same time going on in our family life with, love and attachment to the family. If we're simultaneously developing our Krishna consciousness, then that all comes into play. We start to see each other as spirit souls, as devotees, as God brothers, God sisters, or along on that line. I don't think that we have to do something that falls in line with fanaticism. If we just practice Krishna consciousness, then it automatically happens that we'll take care of our families in a nice way, but at the same time be detached.
Just add water. Yeah, I thought of a verse while you were making that excellent point. Vidyam cha yas tad vedo bayam saha avidyayam ratum tirtva vidyayam ratum ashnute. Only one who can learn the process of nations and that of transcendental knowledge side by side can transcend the influence of repeated birth and death and enjoy the full blessings of immortality. So it's the way in which we can't artificially get out of the material situation that we're in, and at the same time we can't neglect Krishna consciousness at all. So the two have to go on side by side. And this comes up in the Jaiva Dharma. In the beginning, there's a devotee who's thinking that I should take sannyas. And his guru tells him that sannyas doesn't take place externally. If you change the color of your dress, it doesn't mean that you're a sannyasi. You have to change the quality of your consciousness from the inside, and then naturally the outside will change. In fact, Prabhupada mentions that there are a way in which there are grahastha brahmacharis, and it has to do with the way you conduct yourself. And sannyas means knowing where to place everything, how to use everything properly. And if that's going on, then you're perfectly situated. And ultimately, any kind of situation that we look for should be dependent on how I will increase my service, and not how I'll increase my prestige. Yes, please.
Thank you for that. As a follow-up question, not to discredit Srila Prabhupada's going to different people, but in an additional point, how should we seek out mentors? Because sometimes we see that people are just shopping around for the advice that is very likable to them. So they've already kind of made up their minds what they're going to do. So they just look for whoever will give the blessings and condone or endorse their idea, and kind of leading on the conversation and insinuating what should be the right type of answer. And another way is to not take any advice and just make up one's own mind. And another idea could be to actually go there with an unbiased and open-hearted way. But still, as we've seen here, sometimes it takes a few attempts for Krishna to kind of reveal his directive. So can you elaborate a little bit on this? What should be our attitude?
Well, it helps if you're sincere. Because if you're not sincere, even if you get good advice, there's a way you can mess it up. I mean, when Prabhupada first came to his guru, he hadn't been thinking about surrendering to a guru necessarily, but when he met Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, he immediately changed his mind. But then it was a seed in his heart, and it took some years for him to be able to enact that. Krishna says, paripatena. When you go to a person with knowledge, you should be pranipatena. Means truly you should be submissive, and not externally submissive. Don't shop around to try to get what you want. If you do that, you'll be cheated. In fact, if you read the Bhagavatam and you want something out of it besides pure devotional service, the Bhagavatam starts by saying, Dharma projita kaitavo. You little cheater, you're going to be cheated. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says Bhagavatam ultimately is like Mohini Murti. She cheated the demons out of the nectar. And similarly, Bhagavatam cheats people who don't want the right thing, or they're doing it for some ulterior motive. So we have to be aware, do I have an ulterior motive when I'm asking? And be careful. And the other scenarios you said were that you go there and first one was shop around. My mama told me I got to shop around. Next one was? You had what? Predetermined mindset. You already made up your mind. And the third one was? You get the instruction, but you don't follow it?
I mean, there's many various scenarios.
Okay, various scenarios, but the point is, you can cheat yourself if you're not sincerely trying to find out what you should do. So therefore, there are many instructions where Krishna describes how one should be sincere, even if you're not very advanced. As far as the practice goes, if you sincerely want to become advanced, then you're going to get there. I'll read you one section where Prabhupada mentions this. It's in 331 in the Bhagavad Gita. And here, Krishna says, just follow my instructions and you'll be fine. And this could be applied to following the instructions of the pure devotees. Those persons who execute their duties according to my injunctions and who follow this teaching faithfully without envy become free from the bondage of fruitive actions. Purport. The injunction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna is the essence of all Vedic wisdom and therefore is eternally true without exception. As the Vedas are eternal, so this truth of Krishna consciousness is also eternal. One should have firm faith in this injunction without envying the Lord. There are many philosophers who write comments on the Bhagavad Gita but have no faith in Krishna. They will never be liberated from the bondage of fruit of action. But an ordinary man with firm faith in the eternal injunctions of the Lord, even though unable to execute such orders, becomes liberated from the bondage of the law of karma. In the beginning of Krishna consciousness, one may not fully discharge the injunctions of the Lord, but because one is not resentful of this principle and works sincerely without consideration of defeat and hopelessness, he will surely be promoted to the stage of pure Krishna consciousness. Give me the purport, Bhakti Lata Bij. Everything comes from a bij or seed. So this shows that a person who sincerely wants to know the truth, even if he's not very or she's not very refined externally, will ultimately get there because that person is sincere. But if someone has an ulterior motive, then nobody can help, ultimately. Because if they're asking to fulfill their ulterior motive, then they'll get the fruit of that. As 19:131, Prabhupada mentions that even if you get a bona fide spiritual master, if your intention isn't properly situated, then you may not get the Bhakti Lata Bij. Instead, you may get a Karma Bij. Or you may get the Jnana Bij or the Moksha Bij instead, because of not applying the instructions that you're getting properly. Don't shop around. Prabhu, you were going to say? Karma Bij? Prabhupada writes here, in the Madhya Lila 19:152, Bhakti Lata means the seed of devotional service. Everything has an original cause or seed. For any idea, program, plan, or device, there is first of all contemplation of the plan, and that is called bija. Bija, or the seed. The methods, rules, and regulations by which one is perfectly trained in devotional service constitute the Bhakti Lata Bij, or seed of devotional service. The Bhakti Lata Bij is received from the spiritual master by the grace of Krishna. Other seeds called Anyabhilashita Bij include Karma Bij and Jnana Bij. If one is not fortunate enough to receive the Bhakti Lata Bij from the spiritual master, he instead cultivates such seeds as Karma Bij, Jnana Bij, or political, social, or philanthropic bijas. However, the Bhakti Lata Bij is different from these other bijas. The Bhakti Lata Bij can be received only through the mercy of the spiritual master. Therefore, one has to satisfy the spiritual master to get the Bhakti Lata Bij. Yasya prasadad bhagavat prasada. The Bhakti Lata Bij is the origin of devotional service. Unless one satisfies the spiritual master, he gets the bij, or root cause of karma, jnana, and yoga without the benefit of devotional service. Is this matching the train of thought? But one who is faithful to his spiritual master gets the Bhakti Lata Bij. This Bhakti Lata Bij is received when one is initiated by the bona fide spiritual master. After receiving the spiritual master's mercy, one must repeat his instructions, and this is called Shravanam Kirtanam, hearing and chanting. One who has not properly heard from the spiritual master or who does not follow the regulative principles is not fit for chanting. This is explained in the Bhagavad Gita, Vyavasayatmika buddhir ekeha kurunandana. One who has not listened carefully to the instructions of the spiritual master is unfit for chanting or for preaching the cult of devotional service. One has to water the Bhakti Lata Bij after receiving instructions from the spiritual master. By the way, we're staying here for 7 days with no food or water. We're just going to hear and chant. And everyone at home can do the same thing if you like. We're going to just stay here and keep chanting until something happens. The point here is very subtle. our attitude is very important. This is pointing out that someone may approach a bona fide spiritual master, but because the person's intention is different, they may get something subtly different than the Bhakti Lata Bij, because they didn't please the spiritual master. Prime example is given in the Chaitanya Charitamrita when Ramachandra Puri had insulted his spiritual master at the time when his guru was leaving the world. He condescended to him. And he told him, you don't know what you're doing. You're supposed to be meditating on Brahman, and here you are uttering all these things. Can you imagine? Saying it to Madhavendra Puri? And he's saying, why are you lamenting? You shouldn't lament. Madhavendra Puri was expressing the highest level of separation from Krishna, saying, I couldn't attain you at the time when he was leaving the world. And Ramachandra Puri impudently instructed him, and therefore his path in spiritual life was derailed. And he became such an aparadhi that he dared to instruct Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and insult him also. So it's a subtle thing that one has to please the guru and one has to receive the instruction in that way, and it happens by this faithful transmission and through service. Okay, yes. Online, that they're volunteering to stay for 7 days with no food or water.
Yes.
Ramananda likes that. Okay, go ahead. Chaturmasya? Chaturmasya Vrat starts now.
So
Okay.
Sukeshwari Mataji has to send a little early, but she was regarding what Radhikapa Prabhu mentioned. I was remembering the prayers of Queen Kunti, where she says she wants to get her connection to Vrishnis and Pandus. And this is, I think, Sivar. I think she has missed that word. In the essence, her bodily connection, but wants to be connected to everyone as they are part of Krishna. Connected to all only because they are also part of Krishna.
Yes, that's a very. How does that verse start? Shri Krishna Krishna Vishnu Shabhavanani Drug. No, it's. Give me the verse. Just grab Queen Kunti quick. Anyway, Queen Kunti gives this very subtle point. She's in a family of pure devotees, but she's saying, don't let me be attached to them on the bodily level. Let me be attached to them because they're devotees. How does it start? Ata vishvesha vishvatma vishvamurti svakeshu me sneha pasham idam chindi dridam pandushu vrishnishu chinda. He's saying, cut my attachment that's on the mundane level. And Prabhupada points out, it's not to be detached from the fact that they're devotees. 1841. Ata vishvesha vishvatma. Yes. Vishvavurti svakeshu me sneha pasham imam chinti dridham pandushu vrishnushu. Translation is, O Lord of the universe, soul of the universe, O personality of the form of the universe, please therefore sever my tie of affection for my kinsmen, the Pandavas and the Vrishnis. A pure devotee of the Lord is ashamed to ask anything in self-interest from the Lord, but the householders are sometimes obliged to ask favors from the Lord, being bound by the tie of family affection. Srimati Kunti Devi was conscious of this fact, and therefore she prayed to the Lord to cut off the affectionate tie from her own kinsmen, the Pandavas and the Vrishnis. The Pandavas are her own sons, and the Vrishnis are the members of her paternal family. Krishna was equally related to both families. Both the families required the Lord's help because both were dependent devotees of the Lord. Srimati Kunti Devi wished Sri Krishna to remain with her sons, the Pandavas, but by his doing so, her paternal house would be bereft of all the benefit. All these partialities troubled the mind of Kunti, and therefore she desired to be cut off from the affectionate ties. A pure devotee cuts off the limited ties of affection for his family and widens his activities of devotional service for all forgotten souls. The typical example is the band of 6 Goswamis who followed the path of Lord Chaitanya, the band of 6 Goswamis. All of them belonged to the most enlightened and cultured rich families of the higher castes. But for the benefit of the massive population, they left their comfortable homes and became mendicants. To cut off all family affection means to broaden the field of activities. Without doing this, no one can be qualified as a Brahmana, a king, a public leader, or a devotee of the Lord. The personality of Godhead as an ideal king showed this by example. Sri Ramachandra cut off the tie of affection for his beloved wife to manifest the qualities of an ideal king. Such personalities as a Brahmana, a devotee, a king, or a public leader must be very broad-minded in discharging their respective duties. Srimati Kundi Devi was conscious of this fact, and being weak, she prayed to be freed from such bondage of family affection. The Lord is addressed as the Lord of the universe, or the Lord of the universal mind, indicating his all-powerful ability to cut the hard knot of family affection. Therefore, it is sometimes experienced that the Lord, out of his special affinity towards a weak devotee, breaks the family affection by force of circumstances arranged by his all-powerful energy. By doing so, he causes the devotee to become completely dependent on him, and thus clears the path for his going back home, back to Godhead. You okay? You want to stay here all day and hear and chant? She said yes. Okay, yes. Just this is the last one. We'll get you moving out of here.
Sundaranand Prabhu is pointing out the discussion between you and Navindra Prabhu was going. Another point that occurred in this context of discussion is how Dhruva was sincere and at the same time frankly admitted to Narad Muni.
Dhruva was sincere and frankly admitted to Narada Muni.
How he would not be able to follow certain instructions that Narad
How he would not be able to
with.
follow certain instructions.
Tested him with.
And?
That's all.
That he tested him with. And who made that comment?
Sundaranand Prabhu.
I thought that was Sundarananda. It was very nuanced. It was a good idea. Yeah, this is an interesting point he makes also, that the Guru gave him an instruction that Narada gave to Dhruva Maharaja, and Dhruva said, sorry Guruji, can't follow it. I got my mind fixed on this one thing. And your instruction is good for a person in Sattva-gun, for a Brahmana. But I'm a Kshatriya, and I'm eager to have this reward. So that's what I have to do. And Narada did instruct him. It was a test Narada gave him. And he passed the test, showed his determination. So the active ingredient was that he was eager to somehow or other get the favor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So there's a real subtlety there, because in the Bhagavatam, Shukadeva also says, akama sarvakamo va moksha kama udaradhi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. That's however you're motivated. Akama, you don't have any material desires. Sarvakama, you have all material desires. Moksha kama, you just want liberation. Udaradhi, if you're a devotee of the Lord, you should still engage in devotional service, approach Krishna, because by his grace, you will be purified. He'll winnow out the material motivation and he'll bestow upon you the devotional service. So ultimately, one shouldn't be a rascal. You should try to cultivate being sincere, but if there's some material desire there, we should be openly, we should admit it and say, there's a material desire. I know I'm a rascal. Don't try to hide the fact that you're a rascal. Because then you become a double rascal. And that's not good. Anyway, yes?
Online, Sri Antriksha Prabhu pointed out that verse from...
Who did?
Sri Antriksha Prabhu 8.
Sri Antariksha, yes.
He's I think in India. He's pointed out that verse from Sensual Strength 8 to 30. He was giving...
From where?
I think he's in India currently.
And then remember, the rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain. Say that. The rain in Spain.
The rain in Spain
stays mainly in the plain.
Stays mainly in the plain.
Yeah, you have to pronounce whatever you're reading to us. Use that level of enunciation. The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain. Go ahead.
Sure, Maharaj. Next is Mayank Prabhu.
Mayank Prabhu.
Mayank Prabhu.
Good. Now you're doing good. Keep going.
Hare Krishna. Question. From Lord Rama's pastime, like his praying to Lord Shiva at Rameshwaram before going to Lanka, it seems as if Lord Vishnu wants at least some conditioned soul to become attached to Lord Shiva. Is this part of Maya or illusion? This question.
Well, these are special circumstances. Whenever Lord Krishna or Lord Vishnu encourages those around him to approach Lord Shiva, number one, he's glorifying Lord Shiva as his devotee, because Lord Shiva is very dear to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because he's one in purpose with him. And there is an arrangement for some living entities who are situated in a really strange place in the material energy to take shelter of Lord Shiva and thus get purified by his association so that they can come to devotional service. The facts are the facts. Some people are situated in really strange situations according to how the material nature has jumbled up their body and mind due to their previous associations. Do you find this to be true, those of you who go to the Haight-Ashbury on a regular basis? Guess that I'll take that as a yes. And so sometimes, and there is facility given for some to take shelter in various situations. So Shiva has a kind of a halfway house there in his Mahesh Dham, and he takes care of people who are like, what are they like in today's world? Isn't there some class of people that are very kind of devoted to the dark modes of nature? There's goth. What else is there in that genre? Come on, all of you who do concerts. Anyway. So Lord Shiva can help such ghostly type of persons who are affected by the mode of ignorance. He helps to elevate them. But generally, in those pastimes in the Bhagavatam, for instance, when he asks the demigods and the demons to pray to Lord Shiva to save the universe, he's glorifying Lord Shiva and showing how powerful his devotee is. And this is pointed out again and again by our acharyas like Vishwanath Chakravarti, etc. And now it's time for Guru Puja. So we're going to have Guru Puja, and we're going to roll up this carpet and open up the dance floor so everyone has at least 6 feet in between each other to dance their heart's content. And thank you everyone for joining us online. We'll be continuing the vibration of transcendence online at various intervals without breakage in any day, so that we can keep the vibration going constantly. And everyone, please take care of yourselves, wash your hands, and don't touch your face. And no need to congregate too tightly these days, because right now we're going into a kind of a mathematically probable area where there's a lot of intensity in this kind of spread of disease. So you could just take this time to reorder your life. For instance, it's a good time to look at how you have things organized. It's a good time for us to look at our Sankirtan party and see how we can use this particular time to invent ways to distribute more books online. Not just more books, a ton of books, and to open up this new stream by connecting online to people all over the world and distributing books as well. And to also feel what it's like to take charge of your devotional service at home and make sure that you're super regulated. Does this sound practical, Mataji? Okay. Vancha kalpadrubhascha kripasinabheva patitanam pavanibhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha nantakoti vaishnavini ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Gaur Premanande. Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Namashreshtam manum api shachiputram atra sarupam Shirupam tasya grajam urupurim maturim goshtavatim Radha kundam givaram maho radhika madhavasham Prapto yasya pratita kripaya shigurum tam natosmi He Guru Jnanada Dina Bandho Swananda Data Kurunaika Sindo Vrindavana Sinahitavatar Prasida Radha Pranaya Pracharo He Dinabando Kurunaika Sindo Kuru Prasadam Mai Manda Mudhe Laksha Parade Bahupapa Gadhe Tatpada Padmastu Matishcha Krishna. I bow down to the beautiful lotus feet of my spiritual master. By whose causeless mercy I have attained the supreme holy name, the divine mantra, the service of the son of Shachi Mata, the association of Srila Swarup Damodar, Rupa Goswami and his older brother Sanatan Goswami, the supreme abode of Mathura, the blissful abode of Vrindavan, the divine Radhakunda and Govardhan Hill, and the desire within my heart for loving service of Sri Radhika and Madhava in Vrindavan. O spiritual master, O giver of divine wisdom, O friend of the fallen, you are the giver of your own bliss, and you are the only ocean of mercy. Although dwelling in Vrindavan, you have descended for the welfare of fallen souls like myself, and you are preaching the divine love of Radha for Krishna. Please be kind upon us. O friend of the lowly, O Gurudev, you are the only ocean of mercy. I am a dull fool and have committed hundreds of thousands of offenses. I have fallen into a dense myriad of sins. Therefore, grace me with your mercy, so that my mind may be fixed on your lotus feet and on Sri Krishna. The lotus feet of our spiritual master are the only way by which can attain pure devotional service. I bow down to his lotus feet with great awe and reverence. By his grace, one can cross the ocean of material suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. Our only wish is to have our consciousness purified by the words emanating from his lotus mouth. Attachment to his lotus feet is the perfection that fulfills all desires. He opens our darkened eyes and fills our hearts with transcendental knowledge. He is our Lord, birth after birth. From him ecstatic prema emanates. By him ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing of his character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, the friend of the poor, and the Lord and master of the devotees. O Master, be merciful unto us. Give us the shade of your lotus feet. Your fame is spread all over the three worlds. We take shelter of your lotus feet. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevalabha Kati Sadma Bando mui savadana mate Jahara prashade bai bhavato riyaja Krishna prapti hoy jaha hoy te. Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitete Ko Riya Oikya. Arna Kori Ho Mane Asha. Shri Guru Charane Ratiye Sheu Tamagati. Jai Prashade Pure Sarva Asha. Jai Prashade Pure Sarva Asha. Chakudan dilo je janme janme prabhu she. Dibya gyan hire prokashita. Dibya gyan hire prokashita. Prema bhakti jaha hoite abidya vinasa jate. Prema bhakti jaha hoite abidya vinasa jate. Virigai Jahara Charita. Virigai Jahara Charita. Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adama Janara Bandhu. Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adama Janara Bandhu. Lokanath Lokera Jivana. Lokanath Lokera Jivana. Ha Prabhu Kora Doya De Amore Parachaya. Ha Prabhu Kora Doya De Amore Parachaya. Ebe Jashku Shikri Bhuvana. Ebe Jashku Shikri Bhuvana. Ha Prabhu Kora Doya De Amore Para Chaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Gaura Premanande Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Reshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Chaitanya Nanda Gadadhar Shivasadi Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Kali Kukur Kadam Jadi Chao Hai Kali Yuga Pavana Koli Boy Nashana Shri Shachinandana Gao Hey Gadadhar Madan Nitayer Pranadan Advaita Prapujita Gora. Nimani Bishrambar Srinivasishwar Bhakta Samuha Chitta Chora. Nariya Shashadar Mayapur Ishwar Nam Pravartana Shura. Grihijana Shikshaka Nyasikula Nayaka Manavarana Bhavapura. Sarvabhoma Shodhana Gajapati Tarana Ramananda Poshana Vera. Rupananda Vardhana Sanatana Palana Haridas Modana Dhira. Brajaras Bhavana Dushna Mata Shatana Kapati Vigatana Kama. Shura Bhakta Palana Shuksha Gyana Tarana Chala Bhakti Dushana Rahama. Go to Premanande. Kali Kukur Kadan Jadye Chao He. Kali Yuga Pavana Kali Boy Nashana Shri Sachinandana Gao He. Hari Haraya Namah Krishna Yadavaya Namah Hari Haraya Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namah. Gopal Govinda Ram Sri Madhusudan Giridhari Gopinath Madan Mohan Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Sita Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita Shri Rup Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Das Raghunath H.I. Gosai Kori Charana Vandan Jahoite Vignanash Abhishtapura H.I. Gosai Jarmu Itar Das Tansabara Parariu Mora Panchagras Tandera Charana Sebe Bhakta Sanibas Janame Janame Hoye Abhilash Chai Gosai Jabe Braje Koilabas Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Koila Prakash Shri Shri Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Koila Prakash Bolo Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan Bolo Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan Shri Guru Vaishnava Padi Majimiya Man Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Kori Ash Harinam Sankirtan Kohe Narottamo Das Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Go Prem Haribo Haribo Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hey! Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaur Haribo. Jaya Radha, Madan Mohan Radha, Madan Mohan Radhe. Jaya Radha, Govinda Radha, Govinda Radhe. Jaya Radha, Gopinatha Radha, Gopinatha Radhe. Radhe, 18 Thakur Gaudiati, Kariyachana Atmasad, 18 Sharan Vandon, Tine Mora, Na Gopremanande, Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaur Haribo. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhamsa Parivrajikacharya Stotaris Jishiman Habai Charanara Vinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhamsa Parivrajikacharya Stotaris Jishiman Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Anantakoti Vaishnavini Ki Jai. Nama Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Zagaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopina Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Mayapur Navadip Dham Ki Jai. Shri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Jamuna Devi Ganga Ki Jai. Samaveta Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Krishna Jinka Nam He. Gokula Jinka Dam He. Krishna Jinka Nam. Aishe Shri Bhagavan Ko Mere Parampara Pranam He. Krishna Jinka Nam He. Gokula Jinka Dam He. Krishna Jinka Nam He. Gokula Jinka. Aishe Shri Bhagavan Ko Mere Barambara Pranam He. Yashoda Jinka Maya He. Nanda Jiba Paya He. Paya He. Aishe Shri Gopalako Mere Barambara Pranam He. Radha Jinka Jaya He Adbhuta Jinka Maya He Aise Shri Gyana Shyama Ko Mere Barambara Pranam Hey. Little louder, little louder. Luta, luta dadi makana kayo. Gwala bala sanga denu charayo. Aise lila dama ko mere barambara pranam Hey. Drupada Sutta Ko Laja Bachayo Grahase Gajako Panda Churayo Aise Kripa Dhamma Ko Mere Barambara Pranam Hey. Kul Pandava Ko Yudhamachayo Arjuna Ko Upadesha Sunayo Aise Dinanatha Ko Mere Barambara Pranam Hey. Hey, hey, hey. Radha Govinda Gopala Hare. Radhe Govinda. Hey, Radhe Gopala. Radhe Govinda. Radhe Gopala. Vajare. Hey, Radha Govinda Gopala Hare. Hey, Radha Govinda Gopala Bhajare. Hey, Radha Govinda Gopala Hare. Aise Shri Bhagavan Ko Mere Barambara Pranam Hai. Aise Shri Bhagavan Ko Mere Barambara Pranam. Aise Shri Gyana Shama Ko Mere Barambara Pranam Hai. Aise Shri Gyana Shama Ko Mere Barambara Pranam. Nam Hey. Go pray Manande. Nitai Goda Haribo, 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 Nitai Goda Haribo. We'd like to thank everyone for coming to our Saturday morning program. We'd like to thank everyone for staying home and watching online. Right now, we have a great opportunity, and that is to become aware of the ephemeral nature of the world. There's a phrase we can remember that relates to the Bhagavad Gita, and that is, "This too shall pass." Once there was a king, and he instructed his head minister, telling him that there's a ring, and on that ring there's an inscription that will bring happiness to those who are sad and sadness to those who are happy. He was only testing his minister, and he told him, go out and find that ring. It's somewhere in the world, and when you bring it back, your mission will be accomplished. You have 6 months. So the minister went everywhere searching for a ring such as that, and after 6 months he had failed. And the last day he was walking in the bazaar, and he saw a venerable old man laying out a worn but ornate carpet, and on it he was placing his wares, which were jewelry, worn jewelry to be sure. But in desperation the minister went to him and said, "Have you ever heard of a ring that a sad man upon seeing will become happy, and a happy man upon seeing will become sad?" And the venerable merchant said, "Why, of course I have. I have it right here." And he picked up one of the worn gold rings, and then he made an inscription on the inside. The minister picked it up, and his sadness turned suddenly to happiness. He brought the ring enthusiastically back to his king. His king laughingly said in front of everyone in the court, "Did you find it?" And he said, "Yes, I did." And the king was so surprised because he didn't think there was any such thing. He sent him out on a fool's errand just to humiliate him. And the minister handed the king the ring. The smile on the face of the king then drooped into a frown, and he became sad upon reading the inscription, which said, "This too shall pass." For the king was full of wealth and fame and power, but he realized it's only here for a moment and it will be gone. But for those who are sad and oppressed and feeling that the world isn't the way it's supposed to be, upon reading this, they become happy and they remember, Haribo, the things will pass through just like everything else has from the very beginning of time. So we can remember that the world right now is in a situation created by Krishna's energies. And for us, this is the greatest of opportunities to remember the fleeting nature of the material world, and also to find opportunities to use the energy in service to Krishna in ways we've never thought of before. When we get in one pattern, we tend to think this is the all in all. But there is a great philosopher named Hegel from Germany, and he said only through disintegration and then reconstitution do we come to a higher level. Just like a forest fire. It burns down the forest, but then the soil becomes nutrient rich. And the canopy opens up so more sun can come in. A monk in China recently wrote a poem, and he said, from Wuhan, China, he said, "Just see now how the sky is clearing from all the smog. The people have slowed down in their mad rush to find material happiness in this world. They're staying together in one house, regarding one another as actual human beings, and the world has become more peaceful here in China." So we are faced with danger at every step, whether it's evident or it's not evident. Many people are pointing this out in one way or another, but collectively, somehow or other, Krishna has decided to bring all of us in the whole world to a timeout. Enough is enough, people. Slow down, sit down, and listen to what's in your heart, and try to understand that we're all on this planet together, and we have to work together to bring it to a higher level. No more cruelty, only compassion, cooperation, looking for ways to make the world a better place, not trying to exploit it. So we have to be the exemplars of this. We have to face this diversity and danger in the ways that Krishna tells us in the Bhagavad Gita. Be equal. Don't be worried. Just take shelter of Krishna and go on. And day by day, minute by minute, deal with whatever situation we're in, and know that this world is always uncertain, but there is one certainty, that Krishna is behind everything, and if we take shelter of Him, then we'll always be victorious. Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. So today, we're not doing any more programs here at the temple, as far as I know, and nor are we doing for the rest of the week, except for some broadcasts. But we're encouraging everyone to stay home and listen from home. We just have a couple devotees in the temple room at 12 feet from one another. So even the spray won't hit, hopefully. And we're being very, very careful to keep everything clean. At home, please keep everything clean. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. And don't interact and go into crowds for any reason. Just take a time out. It's a good time to stay home. What's that? Sunday feast has been postponed, which means that you can meditate on taking prasadam. One time I was on a parikrama with my godbrother Madhava Maharaj, and he was very enthusiastic to veer off the course and go way far into the distance to go to this special tree, and he wanted to visit. And I said, Maharaj, I'll do it by meditation. And he said, that's fine, as long as when we get back to take prasadam, you also take prasadam by meditation. So we don't cancel anything in Krishna consciousness. We continue it, even if we can't be there physically, we continue it in whatever way we can. For instance, when Devaki and Vasudeva were imprisoned, they gave charity through their minds. And when Haridas Thakur and Vaitacharya knew that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had appeared, they also gave millions of cows in charity. So we can do the same thing. We don't stop anything. We only change the level of our awareness of it. Not physically here, we may be mentally here. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming. Any other announcements? Vancha kalpadrubhascha, kripa sindhabeva cha patitanam.